The morning sun glittered across the Olympic-sized pool behind the Ellington mansion. Andre Carter adjusted the settings on the pool vacuum, his strong hands moving with practiced efficiency. At 29, he'd spent the last 5 years managing the pools of River Oaks' wealthiest residents, and the Ellingtons was by far the most extravagant. "You missed a spot," came a teasing voice. Andre looked up, shielding his eyes from the sun. Catherine Ellington stood at the edge of the pool, blonde hair cascading over her shoulders, a smile playing on her lips. She wore a simple white sundress that made her look like an angel against the Texas sky. "Did I now, Miss Ellington?" Andre smiled, playing along with their charade. "I'm terribly sorry." Kate glanced over her shoulder at the mansion, making sure no one was watching. When she was certain they were alone, she knelt down by the edge of the pool, where Andre was working. "I missed you," she whispered. "It's only been 2 days," he reminded her, but his eyes said he'd missed her too. 2 days too long. Kate reached out, her fingers brushing against his. "Meet me tonight? The usual place?" Andre nodded, but his expression grew serious. "Kate, we need to talk about Catherine Elizabeth Ellington." The sharp voice of Beatrice Ellington cut through the air. Kate jumped to her feet as her mother strode across the lawn in her designer heels. "What are you doing out here? The caterers need direction for the party, and you're chatting with the pool boy." Andre's jaw tightened, but he kept his eyes down, continuing his work as if he hadn't heard the dismissive way Beatrice had referred to him. "He's not the pool boy, Mother," Kate said, her voice quiet but firm. "His name is Andre Carter, and he manages the pool services for half of River Oaks." Beatrice waved her hand dismissively. "Whatever. Just come inside. Your father wants to speak with you about Richard Pembroke." Kate's heart sank. Richard Pembroke III was the son of her father's golf buddy, wealthy, white, and as boring as watching paint dry. Her parents had been trying to push them together for months. "I'll be right there," Kate said. Beatrice gave Andre one last appraising look, then turned and walked back toward the house. When she was gone, Kate whispered, "Hedda, I'm sorry." "Don't be," Andre replied, his voice steady. "We both know how this works." "It won't be like this forever," Kate promised. "I just need time to figure out how to tell them." Andre nodded, but there was doubt in his eyes. They'd been having this conversation for nearly a year now. "Tonight," Kate said, squeezing his hand quickly before following her mother inside. The Ellington mansion was a sprawling testament to old Texas money, oil money, the kind of money that came with expectations, traditions, and rules that Kate had been suffocating under her entire life. In the grand foyer, her father, William Ellington, stood speaking with her older brother, William Jr., called Billy by everyone except their father, who thought nicknames were for the weak. "There you are," William Sr. said when he spotted Kate. At 62, he still commanded every room he entered. "We were just discussing the Part Y tomorrow. The Pembrokes will be attending, and Richard has specifically asked if you'll be there." Kate forced a smile. "I'll be there, Daddy. I always am." "That's my girl." William put an arm around her shoulders. "You know, Richard is taking over his father's firm next month. Fine young man. Excellent prospects." Kate murmured non-committally. "Don't give me that look," her father said. "You're 26, Catherine. It's time you settled down with someone suitable." The word suitable hung in the air between them. Kate knew exactly what it meant. White, wealthy, from the right family. Someone like them, not someone like Andre. "I need to help Mother with the caterers," Kate said, slipping away from her father's grasp. That night, Kate drove her white Mercedes convertible to a small lake house 30 minutes outside of Houston. It belonged to Andre's aunt, who was traveling in Europe for the Sioux MMA. This had become their sanctuary, the one place they could be together, without pretending, without hiding. Andre was already there when she arrived, sitting on the dock with his feet dangling in the water. The moonlight silvered his dark skin, making him look like something out of a dream. "Hey," Kate said, sitting beside him. Andre turned to her, his eyes searching her face. "Rough day?" "The usual." Kate leaned her head against his shoulder. "They're pushing Richard Pembroke on me again." "Ah, the illustrious Richard." Andre's voice held a hint of humor. "What is he now? A lawyer? Doctor? Professional trust fund baby?" Kate laughed. "All of the above." She paused, then added, They're going to keep pushing until I give in or tell them the truth. Andre was quiet for a long moment. So tell them the truth. You know it's not that simple. Kate sighed. My father will cut me off. He's done it before, with my cousin when she married beneath her station. Is that what I am, beneath your station? There was no anger in Andre's voice, just a quiet sadness. No, Andre, you know that's not what I think. Kate turned to face him. You're the most amazing man I've ever known. You work harder than anyone in my family ever has. You're putting yourself through school, supporting your brother and sister, and still finding time to make me happier than I've ever been. Andre took her hands in his. Then why are we still hiding, Kate? It's been almost a year. I'm scared, she admitted. Not of being cut off. I don't care about the money. I'm scared of hurting you. You haven't heard the things they say, Andre. The jokes they make, the way they look at anyone who isn't like them. I've been black in Texas my whole life, Kate. There's not much your family could say that I haven't heard before. Kate felt tears spring to her eyes. You deserve better than that. Better than having to tolerate their ignorance just to be with me. Andre cupped her face in his hands. What I deserve is to be with the woman I love without hiding. And what you deserve is a family that respects your choices. Kate knew he was right. She'd been postponing the inevitable, trying to protect everyone's feelings except their own. The garden party is tomorrow, she said. They've invited half of Houston's elite. Everyone will be there. Including me, Andre reminded her. Your mother scheduled me to clean the pool in the morning and be on call during the party in case of any issues. Kate's heart beat faster as an idea formed. What if that's when we tell them? When everyone's there? Andre looked surprised. You want to announce our relationship at your parents' party? In front of everyone they know? Yes. Kate felt suddenly certain. If we do it privately, they'll try to sweep it under the rug. They'll pressure me to keep it quiet. But if everyone knows, they'll have to deal with it. That's quite the nuclear option, Kate. Andre looked concerned. Are you sure that's what you want? Kate nodded. I'm tired of hiding how I feel about you. I'm tired of watching my mother treat you like you're invisible. I'm tired of my father pushing Richard Pembroke on me when the only man I want is you. Andre was quiet for a long moment. What about your family? Are you ready for what this might do to your relationship with them? My relationship with them has always been conditional, Kate said bitterly. Their love comes with expectations. Yours doesn't. Andre pulled her close. I just don't want you to regret this. The only thing I regret is waiting this long. Kate leaned in and kissed him softly. Tomorrow, no more hiding. The next day dawned bright and clear. Perfect weather for the Ellingtons' annual garden party. Kate stood in her bedroom, staring at her reflection in the full-length mirror. She'd chosen a pale blue dress that made her eyes pop, her blonde hair swept up in an elegant twist. There was a knock at her door, and her brother Billy walked in without waiting for an answer. Ready to face the firing squad? He asked with a grin, adjusting his bow tie. At 32, Bill Y was their father's right-hand man at Ellington Oil. He had their father's business sense, but their mother's love of gossip and social climbing. It's just a party, Billy, Kate said, applying a final touch of lipstick. A party where Richard Pembroke is planning to corner you by the rose garden. Billy waggled his eyebrows. Dad's been talking you up to him for weeks. Kate fought the urge to roll her eyes. Well, Richard is going to be disappointed. Don't be like that, kitty cat. He's not so bad, drives a nice car, has his own jet. You could do worse. I could do better too, Kate said pointedly. Billy laughed. Like who? You haven't dated anyone in ages. Mum's starting to think you're secretly a nun. If only he knew. Kate smiled tightly. I guess I'm just waiting for the right person. Well, don't wait too long. The good ones get snatched up quick. Billy checked his watch. Guests are starting to arrive. You coming down? I'll be there in a minute. When Billy left, Kate took a deep breath. In a few hours, everything would change. Her family would know the truth. The thought made her stomach knot with anxiety, but there was relief there too. No more lying. No more hiding. She touched the delicate silver chain around her neck, following it to where a small ring hung hidden beneath her dress. Andre had given it to her 3 months ago. Not an engagement ring, not yet, but a promise Today she would make her own promise to him, to stand by his side, no matter what came next. Downstairs, the party was in full swing. The Ellington estate had been transformed into a summer wonderland. White tents dotted the lawn, string quartets played classical music, and waiters in crisp uniforms circulated with champagne and hors d'oeuvres. Kate moved through the crowd, smiling and greeting her parents' friends with practiced ease. Her eyes constantly scanned the backyard, looking for Andre. He was there by the pool in his company uniform, dark blue shorts and a polo shirt with Carter Pool Services embroidered on the chest. Their eyes met across the lawn, and Kate felt her heart skip. He gave her a small nod and she nodded back. Their plan was set. In 1 hour, they would meet by the pool, and Kate would introduce him to everyone as the man she loved. "Catherine, darling," her mother's voice pulled her attention away. Beatrice was standing with an older couple and Richard Pembroke. "Come say hello to the Pembrokes." Kate plastered on her society smile and made her way over. Richard was tall and conventionally handsome, with sandy brown hair and a smile that didn't reach his eyes. "Catherine," he said, taking her hand and holding it a moment too long, "you look stunning as always." "Thank you, Richard," Kate said, gently extracting her hand. "How's the law firm?" "Thriving. We just opened a new office in Dallas." He puffed up with pride. "Perhaps I could tell you more about it over dinner sometime." Before Kate could respond, her mother jumped in. "What a lovely idea. Catherine's schedule is quite open next weekend, isn't it, dear?" Kate felt a flash of irritation. "Actually, Catherine," Billy called from near the pool. "Come here a sec." Grateful for the interruption, Kate excused herself. As she approached her brother, she realized with a jolt that he was standing near Andre, who was checking the pool's filtration system. "What is it?" Kate asked, trying to keep her voice casual. Billy grinned, lowering his voice. "Just saving you from Richard the Boar. You can thank me later." He glanced at Andre, then back at Kate. "Though I have to say, at least the help's easy on the eyes." Kate felt her blood run cold. "What did you just say?" Billy laughed, oblivious to her anger. "Relax, kitty cat. Just making an observation." From a few feet away, one of Billy's friends, Chad Hamilton, joined them, champagne flute in hand. "What are we observing?" he asked with a smirk. Billy nodded toward Andre. "The pool guy. Catherine was just about to thank me for rescuing her from Richard." Chad looked Andre up and down. "Well, he's certainly more interesting to look at than old Dickie Pembroke," he chuckled, "though I doubt he speaks in full sentences." Kate felt her chest tighten with rage. She glanced at Andre, who kept his head down, but she could see the tension in his shoulders. He'd heard every word. "That's enough," Kate said, her voice shaking. Billy raised an eyebrow. "Geez, lighten up. It was just a joke." "It wasn't funny." Kate's hands were trembling now. Chad rolled his eyes. "Since when did you become so sensitive about the help?" That word again. The help. As if Andre wasn't a person with feelings, with dreams, with a brilliant mind and a kind heart. As if he was somehow less than them because of his job, because of his skin color. Kate looked around and saw her mother watching from across the lawn, a champagne flute frozen halfway to her lips. She'd heard too. It was now or never. Kate walked to the edge of the pool where Andre was working. He looked up at her, his yes questioning. She reached down, offered her hand. After a moment's hesitation, he took it. Kate pulled him to his feet, laced her fingers through his, and turned to face her stunned brother and the gathering crowd. "This is Andre," she said, her voice clear and strong despite her racing heart. "He's not the help. He's my fiancé." Gasps rippled through the party. Kate heard the distinct sound of a champagne flute shattering. Billy's jaw dropped. Chad, too, came a step back. Across the lawn, her mother went pale. Andre stood tall beside her, silent, dignified, his hand warm and steady in hers. For a moment, everything was still. Then the storm broke. "What did you just say?" William Ellington's voice boomed across the lawn as he pushed through the crowd of shocked guests. Kate lifted her chin. "You heard me, Daddy. This is Andre Carter. We've been together for almost a year and I love him." William's face turned an alarming shade of red. This is absurd. You can't possibly... He stopped, seeming to become aware of the dozens of eyes watching them. Inside, now. He pointed at Kate, then at Andre. Both of you. Kate nodded, still holding Andre's hand. As they followed her father toward the house, she caught glimpses of the stunned faces around them. Richard Pembroke looked like he'd been slapped. Her mother was already on damage control, laughing too loudly. Tell Ling someone it must be Catherine's idea of a joke. But it wasn't a joke. It was the most serious thing Kate had ever done. In her father's study, with the door firmly closed against the curious party guests, William Ellington exploded. "Have you lost your mind?" he roared, pacing back and forth. "Do you have any idea what you've just done? You've embarrassed this family in front of everyone who matters in Houston." "I didn't embarrass anyone," Kate said, calmly. "I introduced the man I love." "The man you..." William sputtered. "You don't love him. You can't possibly love him. You don't even know him." "I know everything about him," Kate countered. "I know he's working on his civil engineering degree. I know he's raising his younger brother and sister since their parents died. I know he's the most hard-working, honorable man I've ever met." "He's the pool boy, for God's sake," William shouted. Andre, who had been silent until now, spoke up. "I manage pool services for over 30 estates in River Oaks, Mr. Ellington. I employ 6 people. I'm also 3 semesters away from my engineering degree at Rice University." William barely glanced at him. "I don't care if you're 3 semesters away from being the next president. You're not good enough for my daughter." "Daddy!" Kate gasped. "It's the truth, Catherine. He's not from our world. He doesn't understand our way of life." "Your way of life?" Kate's voice rose. "You mean the way you and Billy and your friends talk about people like they're beneath you? The way you judge everyone by their bank account and their family name? That's enough." William slammed his hand on his desk. "I've indulged your rebellious phases before, Catherine, but this has gone too far. You're an Ellington. You have responsibilities to this family." "My only responsibility is to be true to myself," Kate said, "and I love Andre." William shook his head. "Love doesn't pay the bills, girl. Love doesn't maintain your lifestyle." "I don't care about the lifestyle," Kate insisted. "I don't care about the money." "Is that so?" William's voice turned cold. "Then you won't mind when I cut you off completely." Kate felt Andre tense beside her, but she didn't flinch. "If that's your choice." William looked shocked, as if he'd expected her to backdo when she didn't, his expression hardened. "You don't understand what you're doing," he said, his voice dropping to a dangerous growl. "You're throwing away your future." Kate squeezed Andre's hand, drawing strength from his presence. "No, Daddy. For the first time in my life, I know exactly what I'm doing." William turned his attention to Andre. "And you? What do you want from my daughter? Her money? The Ellington name to help your business?" Andre met William's gaze steadily. "With all due respect, sir, I was perfectly happy with my life before I met Kate. I didn't need her money then, and I don't need it now. What I want is to be with the woman I love, who happens to be your daughter." William scoffed. "Love? You people always talk about love when you're after something else." "You people?" Andre's voice remained calm, but Kate could feel the tension radiating from him. The door to the study burst open, and Beatrice Ellington swept in, her face a mask of forced composure. "William, the Hendersons are asking for you," she said, then turned to Kate. "Catherine, this little performance has gone on long enough. Our guests are waiting." "This isn't a performance, Mother," Kate said firmly. "Andre and I are together. That's not going to change." Beatrice looked at Andre for the first time, her eyes cold. "Young man, I don't know what you think you're doing with my daughter, but..." "He's not doing anything with me," Kate interrupted. "We're together because we want to be, because we love each other." Beatrice pressed her lips into a thin line. "Love is a luxury, Catherine. It's not a foundation for a life." "That's where you're wrong," Kate said. "Love is the only foundation worth building on." William stepped between them. "Enough of this nonsense. Beatrice, take Catherine back to the party. Tell everyone she's not feeling well, that the heat got to her." He turned to Andre. "You, get off my property. You're fired." "He works for himself, Daddy. You can't fire him," Kate pointed out. "Then his services are no longer required at this house or any house in my circle," William said coldly. I'll make sure of that. Kate felt a surge of panic. William Ellington had enough influence in River Oaks to seriously damage Andre's BU'sness. If you do that, she said quietly, you'll never see me again. The threat hung in the air. William and Beatrice stared at their daughter as if seeing her for the first time. You would choose him over your own family? Beatrice asked, incredulous. Kate looked at Andre, then back at her parents. I'm choosing love over hate, acceptance over prejudice. If you make me choose between those things, then yes, I choose him. William's face hardened. And you've made your choice. So have you, Kate replied, her voice breaking slightly. She turned to Andre. Let's go. As they walked out of the study, Andre hesitated. Kate, are you sure about this? You shouldn't have to fight your family for me. Kate looked into his eyes, finding the strength she needed. I'm not fighting them for you, I'm standing with you. For me. They walked back through the party, hand in hand, ignoring the whispers and stares. K8 held her head high, even as she felt her world shifting beneath her feet. As they reached Andre's truck in the service area of the estate, Kate finally let the tears fall. They laughed at you like you were nothing, she sobbed against his chest, and I hated myself for letting them. Andre held her close. You didn't let them. You stood up to them. That took incredible courage. I should have done it sooner. You did it when it mattered. Andre wiped a tear from her cheek. But Kate, this is just the beginning. It's going to get harder before it gets easier. Kate nodded, knowing he was right. Her father's threat to destroy Andre's business, the loss of her trust fund, the social fallout. There would be consequences for what they'd done today. We'll face it together, she said. Andre kissed her forehead. Together. As they drove away from the Ellington estate, Kate didn't look back. Her heart was acing with fear and grief, and surprisingly, hope. For the first time in her life, she was making her own choices, standing up for what she believed in. It wouldn't be easy, but with Andre beside her, she was ready to face whatever came next. What she didn't know was just how fierce the storm would be, or how soon it would hit. The morning after the garden party, Kate woke up in Andre's modest apartment. Sunlight streamed through the blinds, casting stripes across the blue comforter. For a moment she felt peaceful, until the memories of yesterday came flooding back. The shocked faces of the party guests, her father's rage, her mother's cold disappointment, the ultimatum that had changed everything. She reached for her phone on the nightstand and saw what she'd been dreading, 27 missed calls, 15 from her mother, 10 from Billy and 2 from her father. There were also dozens of text messages, ranging from her mother's, "Call me immediately, Catherine," to Billy's, "What the hell were you thinking?" Kate put the phone down without responding to any of them. She wasn't ready for that battle. Not yet. The smell of coffee drew her to the kitchen, where she found Andre making breakfast. He wore just a pair of sweatpants, his broad shoulders and strong back on display as he moved around the small kitchen with easy grace. "Good morning," she said, her voice still rough with sleep. Andre turned and smiled, though she could see the worry in his eyes. "Morning. How'd you sleep?" "Better than I expected." Kate accepted the cup of coffee he offered her. "Though my phone is exploding." Andre nodded, turning back to the stove where he was scrambling eggs. "I figured it would be. My phone's been busy too." "Your phone?" Kate frowned. "Who's calling you?" "Mostly my employees. Apparently word travels fast in River Oaks." Andre's voice was carefully neutral. "3 of my clients have already cancelled their contracts." Kate felt her stomach drop. "Because of us? Because of yesterday?" "They didn't say that exactly, just that they've decided to go in another direction." Andre slid the eggs onto 2 plates and added toast, but the timing is pretty clear. "My father," Kate whispered, feeling sick. "He's really doing it. He's trying to ruin your business." Andre set the plates on his small kitchen table. "Hey, look at me." When Kate met his eyes, he continued, "This isn't your fault. I knew what I was getting into. But your business, at your employee, we'll be okay. I still have plenty of clients and I've been saving to expand anyway." Andre took her hand across the table. "What about you? Are you okay?" Kate took a deep breath. I don't know. I've never defied them like this before. I've never... She trailed off, looking around at Andre's apartment, so different from the mansion she'd grown up in. I've never been on my own. You're not on your own, Andre reminded her. You have me. Kate squeezed his hand. I know, and that's the only reason I'm not completely terrified right now. After breakfast, Kate finally worked up the courage to listen to her voicemails. Her mother's messages started out demanding, then shifted to pleading as they went on. Catherine, this is your mother. Call me back immediately. Your father is furious, and we need to contain this situation. Catherine, please, be reasonable. You've made your point. Now come home so we can discuss this like adults. Darling, I know you think you're in love, but this is just a phase. Remember when you thought you were in love with your riding instructor? This is the same thing. The last message, left at 3 a.m., was different. Beatrice's voice was soft, almost broken. Katie, please come home. Whatever you think of us, we're still your family. We love you. Don't throw everything away for him. Kate felt tears stinging her eyes. Despite everything, these were her parents, her family, the people who had raised her, who had given her everything she'd ever wanted, except the freedom to choose her own path. Andre watched her from across the room, concern written on his face. You okay? Kate wiped her eyes. I will be. I need to face them. Properly. Not in the heat of the moment with everyone watching. Do you want me to come with you? Kate considered it, then shook her head. I think I need to do this part alone. They'll be more honest if it's just me. Andre nodded, though she could tell he wasn't happy about it. Just promise me you'll call if you need anything, if it gets too intense. I promise. Kate kissed him goodbye, drawing strength from the solid warmth of him. I love you. I love you too, Andre replied. Remember that no matter what they say. The drive to River Oaks felt longer than usual. Kate's white Mercedes, normally a symbol of her privileged life, now felt like the last link to a world she might be leaving behind. As she pulled through the ornate gates of the Ellington estate, she was struck by how normal everything looked. The manicured lawns, the bubbling fountains, the gleaming white columns of the mansion, all exactly as they'd always been, as if yesterday had never happened. But it had happened, and nothing would ever be the same. Beatrice was waiting in the foyer when Kate walked in. Her mother looked impeccable as always, not a hair out of place, but there were dark circles under her eyes that makeup couldn't quite hide. Catherine, she said, her voice carefully controlled, I'm glad you've come to your senses. I haven't come to my senses, Mother, Kate replied evenly. I've come to talk. Beatrice's expression tightened. Your father is in his study. He's expecting you. Kate took a deep breath and walked down the familiar hallway to her father's domain. The heavy wooden door was closed as usual. She knocked twice. Come in, William Ellington's voice called. Her father sat behind his massive mahogany desk, looking older than Kate had ever seen him. The lines in his face seemed deeper, his grey hair more pronounced. Sit down, Catherine, he said, not looking up from the papers in front of him. Kate sat in one of the leather chairs facing his desk, her back straight, hands folded in her lap, the proper posture that had been drilled into her since childhood. For a long moment, William said nothing. The only sound in the room was the ticking of the antique clock on the mantel. Finally, he looked up. I've had Marta pack your things. Kate blinked, caught off guard. What? Your clothes? Your jewelry? Personal items? William's voice was cold, businesslike. They're in boxes in the garage. I assume you can fit them in your car, but if not, we can have them delivered. You're kicking me out? Kate hadn't expected this. Anger, yes. Threats, certainly. But not this calm, calculated dismissal. You made your choice yesterday, Catherine. You chose him over your fam Eiley, over everything we've built for you. I chose love over prejudice, Kate said, her voice surprisingly steady despite the shock. I chose to be with a man who respects me, who sees me for who I am, not what I represent. William scoffed. And what exactly does the pool boy see when he looks at you? A pretty blonde with a trust fund? An Ellington who can open doors for him? Andre doesn't care about any of that, Kate insisted. He loves me. Love. William spat the word like it tasted bad. Let's see how far love gets you when your rent is due. Is that what this is about? Money? Kate felt anger rising in her chest. You think if you cut me off, I'll come crawling back? I think it's time you learned that actions have consequences. William pulled a document from his desk drawer and slid it across to her. This is the paperwork removing you from the Ellington Family Trust. I've also instructed the bank to freeze your accounts, except for your personal checking. Whatever is in there now is all you have. Kate stared at the document, her father's signature already on the bottom line. This was really happening. He was cutting her off completely. You have one opportunity to avoid this, William continued. End this relationship with the pool boy. Publicly. Come back home. Agree to see Richard Pembroke. If you do that, we can put this unfortunate incident behind us. Kate looked up from the document, meeting her father's eyes. His name is Andre Carter. And no, I won't end our relationship. William's jaw tightened. Then you're no longer an Ellington. The words hit Kate like a physical blow. You're disowning me? Your own daughter? My daughter wouldn't disgrace this family the way you did yesterday. William's voice was hard. My daughter wouldn't throw away her birthright for someone like him. Someone like him, Kate repeated, her voice rising. You mean someone who works hard? Someone who takes care of his family? Someone who treats people with respect, regardless of their bank account? You know exactly what I mean. William's eyes were cold. He's not one of us. No, he's better than us, Kate shot back. He's better than this family and its outdated, hateful views. William slammed his hand on the desk. Enough! I've made my decision. Either you end this relationship, or you're cut off. Completely. Kate stood up, her legs shaking but her resolve firm. Then I guess I'm cut off. She turned to leave, but her father's voice stopped her at the door. He'll leave you, you know. William's tone was matter of fact. When he realizes you have nothing to offer him anymore, when the money runs out, when you have to work for a living like everyone else, he'll find another rich girl to latch onto. Kate turned back, her eyes blazing. You don't know him at all, and clearly you don't know me either. She took a deep breath. Goodbye, Daddy. As she walked back through the foyer, Beatrice intercepted her, a pleading look on her face. Catherine, please don't do this. Your father is angry now, but he'll calm down. Just give it time. Time won't change anything, Mother, Kate said sadly. Not unless Dad changes his views. Not unless this family changes. You're asking too much, Beatrice insisted. We are who we are. And who is that exactly? Kate asked. People who judge others by their skin color, by their job. Is that really who you want to be? Beatrice looked away, unable to answer. That's what I thought, Kate said softly. I love you, Mom. But I can't be that person anymore. As Kate walked toward the garage to collect her belongings, Billy appeared, leaning against the doorframe with his arms crossed. So, you're really going through with this? He asked, his expression a mixture of disbelief and concern. Did you think I wouldn't? Kate countered. Billy shrugged. I figured you'd cool off, come to your senses. This is a hell of a lot to give up for a fling, kitty cat. It's not a fling, Billy. I love Andre. Love? Billy rolled his eyes. You sound like a teenager. Grow up, Kate. The real world doesn't run on love. It runs on money and connections, both of which you're throwing away. Maybe the world you live in works that way, Kate said, but I want something different. Billy pushed off from the doorframe, suddenly serious. Look, I get it. He's a good-looking guy. You're rebelling, having your fun. But this is going too far. You're hurting Mom and Dad. You're throwing away your inheritance, and for what? To prove a point. This isn't about proving a point, Kate said firmly. It's about living an authentic life, being with someone who loves me for me, not for the Ellington name. Billy shook his head. You've always been the idealist in the family, but sooner or later reality is going to hit you hard. I'll take my chances, Kate replied, pushing past him into the garage. True to her father's word, her belongings had been packed in boxes. Her clothes, books, jewelry, and personal mementos. The sight made everything suddenly painfully real. 26 years of her life, reduced to a dozen cardboard boxes. Billy helped her load them into her car without saying much. As she closed the trunk, he handed her an envelope. "What's this?" Kate asked. "Money," Billy said simply. $5,000 cash. It's not much, but it's all I could get on short notice. Dad will kill me if he finds out." Kate stared at the envelope, surprised by her brother's gesture. "Billy, don't get so PPY on me," he warned. "I still think you're making a huge mistake, but you're my little sister and I'm not going to let you starve." Kate hugged him tightly. Despite his many flaws, his casual racism, his entitled attitude, he was still her brother, and he was the only member of her family who had offered her any kind of support. "Thank you," she whispered. Billy patted her awkwardly on the back. "Yeah, well, don't spend it all in one place. And call me IFU if you need anything, okay?" Kate nodded, wiping away tears. "I will." As she drove away from the only home she'd ever known, Kate felt a complex mix of emotions. Grief for what she was losing, fear for the uncertain future ahead, but also, surprisingly, relief. The weight of expectations of pretending to be someone she wasn't had lifted from her shoulders. She was free, terrifyingly, exhilaratingly free. When she returned to Andre's apartment, he was on the phone, his expression serious. He ended the call when he saw her, his eyes immediately taking in her red-rimmed eyes and the tension in her shoulders. "That bad?" he asked. Kate nodded. "They've cut me off, completely. My father had my things packed. Her voice caught. "He said I'm no longer in Ellington." Andre crossed the room and pulled her into his arms. "I'm so sorry, Kate." "Don't be," she said against his chest. "I knew this might happen. I chose this. I chose us." Andre pulled back slightly, looking into her eyes. "Kate, I need to ask you something, and I need you to be completely honest." "Anything? Are you sure about this? About us?" His eyes were troubled. "You've just lost your family, your home, your financial security. All because of me. I need to know that you won't wake up one morning full of regret." Kate reached up, touching his face gently. "The only thing I regret is not standing up to them sooner. Yes, I'm sad about my family. Yes, I'm scared about the future. But I have never been more certain about anything than I am about us." Andre searched her face, then nodded slowly. "Okay. Then we'll figure this out together." "What was that phone call about?" Kate asked, remembering the serious expression he'd had when she walked in. Andre sighed. "That was Marcus Taylor. He's one of my biggest clients. Or was. He just cancelled our contract." "Another one?" Kate felt a fresh wave of guilt. "Andre, I'm so sorry." "It's not your fault," Andre insisted. "It's your father." Marcus admitted it, said William Ellington had called him personally, said something about maintaining standards in the neighborhood. Kate felt anger flare in her chest. "He's trying to destroy your business, just like he threatened." "He's trying," Andre agreed grimly, "but he won't succeed. I've still got clients outside of River Oaks, and I'm not going to let your father's prejudice stop me from building my company or my life with you." Over the next week, Kate and Andre settled into a new routine. Kate moved her things into his apartment, carefully arranging her designer clothes in the half of his closet he'd cleared for her. Her jewelry, worth more than the entire apartment building, went into a safe deposit box at the bank. She was surprised by how quickly she adapted to her new surroundings. Andre's apartment was small compared to the mansion she'd grown up in, but it was cozy and warm in a way the Ellington estate had never been. And waking up beside Andre every morning made the adjustment much easier. What wasn't easy was finding a job. Kate had never worked a day in her life. Her education, exclusive private schools and an art history degree from Vanderbilt, hadn't prepared her for the real world of employment. "What about teaching?" Andre suggested one evening as they sat on his balcony watching the sunset. "You love art." Kate sighed. "Teaching requires certification. I'd have to go back to school." "So go back to school," Andre said simply. "You're smart. You'd be a great teacher." "But that takes time," Kate pointed out, "and money. I need a job now." Andre hesitated. Kate, I can support us while you figure things out. My business is taking a hit, but we're still okay, and I have savings. No, Kate said firmly. I'm not going to be a burden on you. I need to contribute. You're not a burden, Andre insisted. I've been dependent on my family my whole life, Kate explained. I don't want to just transfer that dependency to you. I need to stand on my own 2 feet. Andre nodded, understanding in his eyes. Okay, why? But the offer stands if you need it. The next day, Kate landed a job as a receptionist at a small art gallery in Houston's museum district. The pay was minimal, but it was a start, her first step toward independence. When she called Andre to share the news, he was genuinely proud of her. That's fantastic, Kate. We should celebrate tonight. Kate laughed. It's just a receptionist job, Andre. It's your first job, he countered. That's worth celebrating. That evening, Andre cooked her favorite meal and opened a bottle of wine. As they ate, Kate noticed he seemed distracted. Everything okay? She asked. Andre hesitated, then sighed. I got some more cancellations today, 3 more clients in River Oaks. Kate felt her happiness deflate. Because of my father? Most likely. Andre took a sip of his wine. But I also got a call from a property developer in the Woodlands. They're building a new community with 6 large pools, and they want to talk about a maintenance contract. Kate's eyes widened. Andre, that's huge. It could be, he agreed cautiously. If it works out, it would more than make up for the clients I've lost. It will work out, Kate said confidently. You're the best at what you do. Andre smiled at her faith in him. The meeting is tomorrow morning. I was thinking, would you come with me? You have a better eye for the business side of things than I do. Kate was touched by his request. Despite everything, he still valued her input, her skills. Of course I'll come. My new job doesn't start until Monday. The next morning, they drove to the Woodlands, a planned community north of Houston. The development company, Horizon Properties, had offices in a sleek glass building surrounded by pine trees. Kate felt a flutter of nerves as they walked in. This was important for Andre's business, for their future together. She wore one of her more conservative dresses and a simple pearl necklace, wanting to make a good impression. The receptionist directed them to a conference room on the 3rd floor. As they rode the elevator, Andre squeezed Kate's hand. Ready? He asked. Kate nodded. Ready. The conference room had floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking a small lake. A man in his 50s stood looking out at the view, his back to them, as they entered. Mr. Thompson? Andre called. I'm Andre Carter. We spoke on the phone about the pool maintenance contract. The man turned, and Kate felt her blood run cold. It wasn't Mr. Thompson. It was her father. William Ellington's eyes narrowed as he took in the sight of his daughter standing beside Andre. His mouth curved into a smile that didn't reach his eyes. Mr. Carter, he said smoothly, I'm afraid there's been a misunderstanding. There is no contract. Andre stiffened beside Kate. What do you mean? I spoke with Mr. Thompson yesterday. He said, Mr. Thompson works for me, William interrupted. This entire development is an Ellington Oil subsidiary project. He looked directly at Kate. Did you really think I wouldn't find out? That I wouldn't know where you were going? Kate felt sick. You set this up. To what? Humiliate us? To show you exactly what you're up against, William replied coldly. Every door that might open for him? He nodded at Andre. I can close it. Every opportunity. I can block it. Every client. I can turn them away. Andre's voice was tight with controlled anger. You'd destroy my business just to punish your daughter? I'm trying to save my daughter, William snapped, from making the biggest mistake of her life. Kate stepped forward, placing herself between Andre and her father. The only mistake was thinking you might ever change, that you might ever see past your own prejudice. This isn't about prejudice, William insisted. This is about what's best for you, for your future. No, Daddy, it's about control. It's always been about control. Kate's voice was steady, despite the storm of emotions inside her. But you can't control me anymore, and you can't control who I love. William's expression hardened. Love won't save his business. Love won't pay your bills. For us both struggling to make ends meet, when you have to work 2 jobs just to keep a roof over your head, we'll see how much love matters then. We'll manage, Kate said firmly. Will you? William raised an eyebrow. Let's test that theory, shall we? I've spoken to every major property manager in Houston. None of them will hire Mr. Carter's company. I've contacted his existing clients. By the end of the month, he'll have none left. Andre took a step forward, his voice dangerously quiet. You can't do this. I already have, William replied simply. This is Houston, oil country, Ellington country. My influence reaches further than you can imagine. Kate felt rage building inside her, not for herself, but for Andre, for the business he'd built with his own hands, for the employees who depended on him. You're destroying innocent people's livelihoods, she said, her voice shaking with anger. Andre's employees have families. They have children. Then perhaps Mr. Carter should have thought of that before he seduced my daughter, William replied coldly. He didn't seduce me, Kate shot back. I fell in love with him because he's everything you're not. Kind, hard-working, honest. William's eyes flashed with anger. You ungrateful girl. After everything I've given you— Given me, Kate interrupted. You mean controlled me? Every aspect of my life, where I lived, who I socialized with, who I dated. Even my job after college had to be approved by you. Because I wanted what was best for you. No, you wanted what was best for the Ellington name, Kate countered. That's all you've ever cared about. The door to the conference room opened, and Billy walked in looking uncomfortable. Dad, the real developers are here. They're waiting in the other conference room. William nodded curtly. I'll be right there. He turned Ed back to Kate and Andre. This is your last chance, Catherine. Come home. End this guy's relationship or face the consequences. Kate met her father's gaze without flinching. I've already made my choice. William's expression hardened. So you have. He turned to leave, then paused at the door. Don't come crying to me when he leaves you. When the money runs out and he finds someone else. After he left, Billy lingered, looking at his sister with a mixture of concern and frustration. Kate, please, be reasonable. Dad is serious about this. He's going to destroy Carter's business. Then help me stop him, Kate pleaded. Talk to him. Make him see reason. Billy shook his head. You know, Dad. Once he makes up his mind about something, that's it. He glanced at Andre, then back to Kate. Is he really worth all this? Yes, Kate said without hesitation. He is. Billy sighed heavily. I hope you're right, Kai Tai Cat. For your sake. He followed their father out, leaving Kate and Andre alone in the conference room. Andre punched the wall in frustration, then winced, shaking out his hand. I'm sorry, Kate. I shouldn't have brought you here. I should have known it was too good to be true. Kate went to him, taking his injured hand in hers. This isn't your fault, it's my father's. He's right about one thing, Andre said grimly. By the end of the month, I won't have a business left, not in Houston. We'll figure something out, Kate insisted. We could move, start over somewhere else. Andre looked at her, his expression serious. Kate, I have my brother and sister to think about. They're in school here. I'm all they have. Then we'll stay and fight, Kate said firmly. My father isn't the only wealthy person in Houston. There are other clients, other opportunities. Andre pulled her into his arms, holding her tightly. I don't want you to regret choosing me. If this gets too hard— Kate cut him off with a kiss. I will never regret choosing you. No matter what happens, we're in this together. As they drove back to Houston, Kate's mind raced with ideas. There had to be a way to counter her father's influence, to save Andre's business. An idea began to form, a risky, possibly crazy idea, but it just might work. Andre, she said suddenly, how much do you know about social media marketing? Andre glanced at her, puzzled. Not much. Why? Because I think I know how to save your business, Kate said, determination filling her voice. My father thinks he can control Houston's elite with his money and influence, but there's one thing he can't control. What's that? Kate smiled grimly. Public opinion. The next day, Kate created social media accounts for Carter Pool Services. She spent hours taking professional quality photographs of the pools Andre managed, showcasing his company's attention to detail and quality work. Then she wrote a post, a simple, honest account of who Andre was and what his company stood for. She carefully avoided mentioning her father or the Ellington name directly, instead focusing on Andre's journey as a small business owner, his dedication to his employees and his commitment to quality. "Are you sure about this?" Andre asked as he read over her shoulder. "Going public with our story?" "Not our whole story," Kate clarified, "just enough to get people interested, to show them who you really are, not who my father says you are." Within days, the post had been shared thousands of times. Local news outlets picked up the story of the hard-working pool service owner who was putting himself through engineering school while raising his younger siblings. Calls started coming in, not just for pool service, but from people wanting to help. A local business association offered Andre membership. A community college reached out about a scholarship program for his sister. And most importantly, new clients called, wanting to hire Carter Pool Services. "I can't believe this is working," Andre said one evening, reviewing the new contracts Kate had helped him secure. "We've signed more new clients this week than we lost all month." Kate smiled, feeling proud of what they'd accomplished together. People respond to authenticity, to someone who works hard and treats others with respect. "To someone like you," Andre said, pulling her close. "I couldn't have done this without you, Kate." "We did it together," she corrected him. "That's what partners do." Their victory was short-lived. 3 days later, a different story appeared in the Houston Chronicle's business section. Local pool service under investigation for licensing violations. The article cited anonymous sources, claiming that Carter Pool Services was operating without proper permits in several Houston neighborhoods. "This is ridiculous," Andre fumed, throwing the newspaper aside. "All my permits are in order. I've never had a single violation." "It's my father," Kate said grimly. "He can't beat us honestly, so he's spreading lies." Andre paced the small living room, his frustration evident in every movement. "But why would the Chronicle print this without verifying the facts?" "Because the Ellingtons are major advertisers," Kate explained, "and my father plays golf with the owner." The damage was immediate. Several of their new clients called to cancel, citing the investigation. The business association that had welcomed Andre now wanted to postpone his membership until the matter was resolved. It was a masterful move on William Ellington's part, subtle E. Not to avoid any direct legal consequences, but devastating to Andre's reputation and business. "What do we do now?" Andre asked, his voice tight with controlled anger. Kate thought for a moment. "We fight back, with the truth." She called every media outlet in Houston, offering interviews. Most declined, likely intimidated by the Ellington influence, but a small online news site agreed to hear their side. The young reporter who met them at a coffee shop looked nervous, but determined. "Just so you know," she said after introducing herself as Melissa Chen, "my editor is taking a risk publishing this. The Ellingtons have a lot of pull in this town." "We know," Kate said grimly. "That's why we need to get the truth out there." "And the truth is?" Melissa asked, pen poised over her notebook. Andre leaned forward. "The truth is that my company has all the required licenses and permits. We've never had a single violation in 5 years of operation. The Chronicle's story is completely fabricated." "That's a serious accusation," Melissa noted. "Do you have proof?" Andre pulled out a folder containing copies of all his business licenses, permits, and inspection certificates. "See for yourself." Melissa examined the documents, then looked up. "Why would someone target your business like this?" Kate and Andre exchanged a look. This was the moment they'd been dreading. Their personal relationship would become public knowledge. "Because of me," Kate said finally. "I'm Catherine Ellington, William Ellington's daughter. Andre and I are together, and my father doesn't approve." Melissa's eyes widened. "The Catherine Ellington? Of the Ellington oil family?" Kate nodded. "The same. And your father is trying to destroy Mr. Carter's business because you're dating?" Melissa clarified, scribbling furiously in her notebook. "It's more than dating," Andre said, taking Kate's hand. We're building a life together. Melissa looked between them, clearly seeing the bigger story. Ms. Ellington, would you be willing to go on record about this, about your father's actions? Kate hesitated. This would mean burning bridges with her family completely. Once she spoke publicly against her father, there would be no going back. She thought of the look in William's eyes at that conference room, cold, calculating, willing to destroy innocent lives just to control her. She thought of Andre's employees, their families, their livelihoods at stake. Yes, she said firmly, I'll go on record. Melissa's story was published the next day with the headline, Ellington heiress alleges family vendetta against local business owner. The article detailed Kate and Andre's relationship, her family's disapproval, and the subsequent attacks on Andre's business. It included copies of his valid permits and licenses, directly contradicting the Chronicle's story. By noon, it had gone viral. By evening, it had been picked up by national news outlets. The phone in Andre's apartment rang constantly, reporters wanting statements, clients calling to reinstate their contracts, and even some of the River Oaks residents who had cancelled, apologizing for their hasty decisions. It's working, Kate said in amazement, as Andre hung up from yet another call from a potential new client. It's working too well, Andre replied, looking worried. Your father is going to be furious. As if on cue, Kate's phone rang. The caller ID showed Billy. Hello? She answered cautiously. Kate, Billy's voice was urgent. Have you seen the news? What were you thinking? I was thinking about protecting Andre's business from Dad's attacks, Kate replied defensively. Well, you've done more than that, Billy said. Dad is livid. He's talking about suing the news site, suing Carter, suing everyone involved. Let him try, Kate said boldly. Everything in that article is true. This isn't a game, Kate. Billy's voice rose in frustration. Dardee is powerful, but he's not invincible. This kind of public scandal, and it affects all of us. The company's stock is already taking a hit. Kate felt a pang of guilt. She hadn't intended to hurt the family business, just to protect Andre. I'm sorry about that, Billy, but what was I supposed to do? Let Dad destroy Andre's livelihood? Billy sighed heavily. Look, this has gone too far. Everyone's getting hurt. There has to be another way. Like what? Kate challenged. Like a compromise, Billy suggested. Come home, talk to Dad face to face. Maybe we can work something out. Kate hesitated. The last time I saw Dad, he made it pretty clear there was no room for compromise. That was before you took this public, Billy pointed out. The circumstances have changed. Kate covered the phone and looked at Andre. Billy wants me to come home to talk to Dad, to try to work out a compromise. Andre's expression was guarded. Do you think that's a good idea? I don't know, Kate admitted. Then, into the phone. Billy, if I come, I'm bringing Andre with me. Those are my terms. There was a long pause on the other end. Fine, Billy finally said, but be prepared. Dad's not going to make this easy. When? Kate asked. Tonight. Dinner. 7 o'clock. Billy's voice softened slightly. Mom misses you, you know. Kate felt a lump in her throat. I miss her too. After hanging up, Kate turned to Andre. We're having dinner with my family tonight. Andre ran a hand over his close-cropped hair. Are you sure this is a good idea? The last time we were in a room with your father, he threatened to destroy my business and then actually tried to do it. I know, Kate said. But maybe Billy's right. Maybe we need to try to work this out face to face. The alternative is an all-out war with my family, and I don't think anyone would as in that scenario. Andre nodded slowly. Okay, but I need you to promise me something. Anything. Promise me you won't let them separate us, he said, his eyes serious. Your family is powerful and persuasive. I don't want you going in there and getting manipulated into a decision you'll regret. Kate took his hands in hers. I promise we're a team. Whatever happens tonight, we face it together. At exactly 7 o'clock, Kate's Mercedes pulled through the gates of the Ellington estate. She felt a strange mix of nostalgia and anxiety as they drove up the long, tree-lined driveway. This had been her home for 26 years, but now it felt like enemy territory. Ready? She asked Andre as they parked. He squeezed her hand. As I'll ever be. Billy met them at the door, his expression tense. "They're in the dining room," he said, kissing Kate's cheek. He nodded stiffly to Andre. "Carter." "Ellington," Andre replied with equal formality. The walk to the dining room felt like the longest of Kate's life. Andre's hand was warm and steady in hers, giving her the strength she needed to face what was coming. William and Beatrice Ellington sat at opposite ends of the long mahogany table, like king and queen holding court. William's face was an expressionless mask. Beatrice looked like she'd been crying. "Catherine," William said, his voice cool. "Mr. Carter." "Dad," Kate replied evenly. "Mom." Beatrice stood and rushed to Kate, enveloping her in a hug that smelled of Chanel No. 5 and home. "Oh, Catherine, I've been so worried about you." Kate returned the hug, surprised by how much she'd missed her mother despite everything. "I'm fine, Mom, really." Beatrice pulled back, her eyes darting nervously to Andre. "And you're taking care of my daughter?" "We're taking care of each other, Mrs. Ellington," Andre replied with quiet dignity. William cleared his throat. "Shall we sit? Dinner is getting cold." They took their places around the table, William at the head, Beatrice at the foot, Billy on one side, Kate and Andre on the other. The room was filled with tense silence as the housekeeper served the first course. Finally, William spoke. "I assume you've seen the stock reports today, Catherine." Kate met her father's gaze steadily. "I have." "Ellington Oil lost 12 points after your little interview was published," William continued, his voice dangerously calm. 12 points, millions of dollars in value, gone in a single day. "I'm sorry about that," Kate said sincerely. "That wasn't my intention." "What was your intention?" William demanded. "To humiliate your family? To drag the Ellington name through the mud?" "To protect Andre's business from your attacks," Kate replied evenly. "You left us no choice." "There's always a choice," William countered. "You could have chosen your family, your legacy. Instead, you chose—" He gestured dismissively at Andre. "I chose love," Kate said simply. "I chose happiness," William scoffed. "Love, happiness, pretty words that don't pay the bills." "Actually, Mr. Ellington," Andre spoke up, his voice steady despite the tension, "my business is doing quite well now, despite your efforts to destroy it. Our bills are being paid." William's eyes narrowed. "For now. But what about next month, next year? How long before Catherine realizes she's given up everything for, what? A pool cleaner with delusions of grandeur?" "Dad," Kate protested. Andre placed a calming hand on her arm. "It's okay." He looked directly at William. "Mr. Ellington, I understand your concerns. From your perspective, I'm not good enough for your daughter. I don't have your wealth or your social standing, but I have something that matters more. I love Kate for exactly who she is, not for her name or her trust fund." "Pretty speech," William said coldly. "But love doesn't last. Believe me, I know." An uncomfortable silence fell over the table as William and Beatrice exchanged a brief, loaded glance. Billy cleared his throat. "Look, we didn't come here to argue. We came to find a solution. This public feud isn't good for anyone." "What do you propose?" Kate asked. William set down his fork. "I'm prepared to make you an offer, Catherine. Come back home. Take your rightful place in the family and the company. End this relationship. If you do, I'll restore your trust fund and your position in the family." "And if I don't," Kate challenged, "then the consequences of your choice are on your head," William said grimly. "Your recent media stunt may have given Mr. Carter's business a temporary boost, but make no mistake, I have the resources and the patience to wait this out. Eventually, the story will fade. People will move on to the next scandal, and I'll still be here with all my influence intact." "So that's it?" Kate asked incredulously. "Your idea of a compromise is that I give up the man I love and come crawling back?" "It's not crawling," Beatrice interjected softly. "It's coming home where you belong." Kate felt torn. Part of her, the little girl who had always sought her parents' approval, wanted to give in, to take the easy path back to the comfort and security she'd always known. But the woman she'd become in these past weeks, the woman who had found her voice and her strength, knew she couldn't do that. She looked at Andre, drawing courage from his steady presence. "I can't accept those terms. I won't give up, Andre." William's expression hardened. "Then there's nothing more to discuss." "Wait," Billy interrupted. "There has to be a middle ground here." All eyes turned to him, surprised by his intervention. "What if," Billy continued cautiously, "Kate keeps her relationship with Carter but agrees to stop the public attacks on the family? In return, Dad agrees to stop interfering with Carter's business." William frowned. "And what about Catherine's position in the family?" "She's your daughter," Billy said simply. "That doesn't change, no matter who she loves." Kate felt a rush of gratitude toward her brother. Despite his flaws, he was trying to build a bridge. "And the trust fund?" William pressed. "Keep it," Kate said firmly. "I don't want your money, Dad. I just want your respect, and for you to respect my choices." Andre spoke up. "Mr. Ellington, I'm not trying to take your daughter away from her family. I know how important family is. I've been raising my brother and sister since our parents died. All I'm asking is for a chance to prove myself to you." William studied Andre thoughtfully, as if seeing him clearly for the first time. "And how exactly would you do that, Mr. Carter?" "By loving your daughter the way she deserves," Andre replied. "By supporting her dreams, by building a good life with her." He paused. "And by finishing my engineering degree and growing my business into something you might eventually be proud to have associated with the Ellington name." A long silence followed as William considered Andre's words. Finally, he spoke. "Billy's right about one thing. This public feud isn't good for anyone. I'm willing to suspend hostilities for now. I won't interfere with your business anymore, Mr. Carter." "And?" Kate prompted. "And I'll try," William said, the words clearly difficult for him. "I'm not promising acceptance, Catherine, but I'm willing to give this situation a time." It wasn't everything Kate had hoped for, but it was more than she'd expected. "Thank you, Daddy." "Don't thank me yet," William warned. "My conditions are that there will be no more public statements against the family or the company, and I want regular updates on your life, from you, not from the tabloids." "I can do that," Kate agreed. "And Mr. Carter," William turned his attention to Andre, "I'll be watching your progress closely. If you truly care for my daughter, you'll make something of yourself, something worthy of an Ellington." Andre met William's gaze without flinching. "I'm already worthy of Kate, Mr. Ellington, but I'll continue to build my business and finish my degree, not to impress you, but because that's who I am." William's jaw tightened, but he gave a curt nod. "We'll see." As they left the Ellington estate later that evening, Kate felt emotionally drained but cautiously optimistic. "That went better than I expected," she admitted. Andre put his arm around her shoulders. "Your father's a tough man, but I think he loves you in his own way." "He does," Kate agreed. "He just doesn't know how to love without controlling." She looked up at Andre. "Thank you for doing this, for being willing to try with my family, even after everything they've done." "They're part of who you are," Andre said simply, "and I love every part of you." Kate leaned against him, feeling truly hopeful for the first time in weeks. The road ahead wouldn't be easy. Her father's tentative truce could fall apart at any moment, and there were still mountains of prejudice and misconception to overcome. But they had taken the first step toward building a bridge between their worlds. As they drove away from the estate, Kate looked back at the mansion she'd grown up in, still grand, still imposing, but no longer the center of her universe. Her home was with Andre now, in the life they were building together. The true test of their fragile peace would come sooner than either of them expected. 3 weeks after the tense dinner at the Ellington estate, Kate stood in front of the mirror in Andre's bathroom, a plastic stick trembling in her hand. 2 pink lines stared back at her, undeniable and life-changing. She was pregnant. Kate sank down onto the edge of the bathtub, her mind racing. Shay and Andre had talked about children, of course, but in the abstract future, not now, when they were still finding their footing in this new life together. Not when the truce with her family was so fragile. The sound of the front door opening startled her from her thoughts. Andre was home from class. "Kate," he called, "you here?" Kate quickly wrapped the pregnancy test in tissue, and shoved it into her pocket. She needed time to process this before sharing the news. "In here," she called back, splashing water on her face to hide any evidence of her shock. "Just freshening up." Andre appeared in the doorway, his smile warming her heart despite her anxiety. He was still in his work clothes, khaki shorts and the blue polo with his company logo, having come straight from a job to his evening engineering class. "How was your day?" he asked, leaning in for a kiss. "Fine," Kate said, trying to sound normal. "Busy at the gallery. We have a new exhibition opening next week." Andre studied her face. "Everything okay? You look a little pale." "Just tired," Kate lied. "How was class?" "Good." Andre's eyes lit up. "Professor Jenkins asked me to stay after. She thinks I should apply for the Harrington Scholarship next semester. It would cover all my tuition plus a stipend." "Andre, that's amazing," Kate exclaimed, genuinely thrilled for him, despite the secret weighing on her. "You definitely qualify." "Maybe," he shrugged modestly. "The competition is pretty fierce, but it would make a huge difference. Between that and the new contracts we've signed this month, we'd be in really good shape financially." Kate felt a pang of guilt. Soon, they'd have another expense to consider, a major one. "I'm going to shower and change," Andre said. "Then we can grab dinner. I'm starving." "Sure," Kate agreed. "I'll make us something." While Andre showered, Kate moved around the small kitchen on autopilot, her mind elsewhere. How would Andre react to the news? They'd been together less than a year. They were still establishing themselves, Andre with his studies and growing business, Kate with her new job at the gallery. A baby would change everything. And then there was her family. The fragile truce with her father would certainly be tested by this development. William Ellington might have reluctantly agreed to give time to her relationship with Andre. But a grandchild? That was permanent. Undeniable. By the time Andre emerged from the bedroom in fresh clothes, Kate had made a simple pasta dish, though she had little appetite herself. "Smells good," Andre said appreciatively, coming up behind her and wrapping his arms around her waist. Kate leaned back against him, taking comfort in his solid presence. "It's just pasta. Nothing fancy." "Hey," Andre turned her to face him, his expression concerned. "What's really going on? You've been distracted all evening." Kate looked into his eyes, warm, brown, and unfailingly honest. How could she keep this from him? This wasn't just her news, it was theirs. "I need to tell you something," she said quietly. Andre's face grew serious. "What is it? Is everything okay with your family? Did your father go back on our agreement?" "No, nothing like that." Kate took a deep breath. "I'm pregnant." For a moment, Andre just stared at her, processing. Then a slow smile spread across his face. "You're pregnant? We're having a baby." Kate nodded, tears filling her eyes, tears of relief at his obvious joy, but also of fear for the uncertain future. Andre pulled her into his arms, holding her tight. "Kate, this is wonderful news." "Is it?" Kate asked, her voice muffled against his chest. "We've barely started our life tug either. You're still in school. I just got my first job. We live in a one-bedroom apartment. And my family—" Andre pulled back to look at her. "Those are all just circumstances, Kate. They can change. What matters is that we love each other, and we'll love this baby." "You're really happy about this?" Kate asked, needing to be sure. "I'm beyond happy," Andre assured her. "Surprised, yes. A little scared, definitely, but mostly just happy." He placed a gentle hand on her still flat stomach. "Our child." Kate felt some of her anxiety melt away in the warmth of Andre's acceptance. "I was so worried about how you'd react. Did you think I'd be upset?" Andre looked hurt by the suggestion. "No, not upset," Kate clarified, "but maybe overwhelmed. This changes everything." "In the best possible way," Andre insisted. He guided her to the small dining table, dinner temporarily forgotten. "Look, I know the timing isn't perfect, but when is it ever? My parents weren't ready when they had me, but they figured it out. And so will we." Kate smiled, drawing strength from his confidence. "We will, won't we?" "Absolutely." Andre took her hands in his. Kate, I've been wanting to ask you something for a while now. I was waiting for the right moment, but maybe this is it. Kate's heart skipped a beat as Andre slid off his chair and onto one knee. I don't have a fancy ring, he said, his voice rough with emotion. Not yet, but I promise you, Catherine Ellington, that I will love you and our child with everything I have for the rest of my life. He squeezed her hands. Will you marry me? Tears spilled down Kate's cheeks. Yes, she whispered. Yes, I'll marry you. Andre stood, pulling her into his arms and kissing her with a tenderness that made her heart ache. When they finally separated, he rested his forehead against hers. We're going to be a family. Kate nodded, her earlier fears giving way to a cautious joy. A family, she repeated. It was both terrifying and wonderful. We should start looking for a bigger place, Andre said, practical even in this emotional moment. The baby will need a room. And we'll need to figure out health insurance, Kate added. The gallery job provided only basic coverage. One step at a time, Andre advised. First we celebrate, then we plan. They sat down to dinner, their conversation now animated with possibilities and plans. For the first time since seeing those two pink lines, Kate felt truly excited about the future. When do you want to tell everyone? Andre asked. My brother and sister will be thrilled. Kate's smile faltered slightly. I don't know about my family. Things are still so fragile with them. They're going to be grandparents, Andre pointed out. Whatever your father thinks of me, this is his grandchild. That might make it worse, not better, Kate said grimly. He might see it as me trapping myself in this relationship. Andre's expression darkened. Is that what you think this is? A trap? No. Kate reached for his hand across the table. No, Andre. I want this baby. I want you. I just know my father is going to make this difficult. Then we don't tell him right away, Andre suggested. We wait until after we're married, until things are more settled. Kate nodded slowly. That might be best. She squeezed his hand. But I do want to tell your brother and sister. And maybe Billy? He's been the only one in my family who's tried to understand. The next day, they invited Andre's siblings over for dinner. Marcus, 19 and in his second year at community college, arrived with 16-year-old Zoe, both curious about the special occasion. Are you finally moving out of this shoebox? Marcus asked Andre, after hugs were exchanged. Actually, Andre replied, glancing at Kate with a smile, we do have some news. You're getting married, Zoe guessed immediately, her eyes going to Kate's left hand, which still bore no ring. Yes, we are, Kate confirmed, touched by the young woman's intuition. But that's not all. Andre put his arm around Kate's shoulders. We're having a baby. The siblings' reactions couldn't have been more different. Marcus's jaw dropped in shock, while Zoe squealed and launched herself at Kate for a hug. I'm going to be an aunt, Zoe exclaimed. This is the best news ever. Marcus recovered from his surprise, clapping his brother on the shoulder. Man, you don't waste time, do ya? Ho, Andre laughed. Not when I know what I want. After dinner, while Andre and Marcus cleaned up, Zoe pulled Kate aside. Can I ask you something? Of course, Kate replied, already fond of Andre's spirited younger sister. Are you scared? Zoe asked bluntly. About the baby, I mean, and everything with your family. Kate was surprised by the teenager's perceptiveness. A little, she admitted, but I'm also excited. Zoe nodded thoughtfully. Andre's going to be an amazing dad. He practically raised us after our parents died, you know. He was only 21, but he stepped up. Worked 2 jobs to keep us in our house. Made sure we stayed in school. Kate felt her throat tighten with emotion. He never told me how hard it was. He wouldn't, Zoe said simply. He doesn't like to make a big deal out of things. But trust me, there's nobody better to have on your side when life gets tough. Kate hugged the girl impulsively. Thank you for telling me that. That night, as they lay in bed, Kate told Andre about her conversation with Zoe. She really admires you, you know. They both do. Andre shrugged, uncomfortable with the praise. I just did what I had to do. They're my family. You did more than that, Kate insisted. You sacrificed your own dreams to take care of them. I postponed my dreams, Andre corrected her. I didn't give them up. And now I'm getting everything I ever wanted. My degree, my business, and a family with you. Kate rested her head on his chest, listening to the steady beat of his heart. I love you, Andre Carter. I love you too, Catherine Ellington, soon to be Catherine Carter. The next morning, Kate called Billy. Can we meet for coffee? There's something I need to tell you. They met at a small cafe halfway between Andre's apartment and the Ellington estate. Billy arrived in his typical Wall Street attire, expensive suit, silk tie, designer watch, looking every inch the heir to the Ellington fortune. You look good, kitty cat, he said, kissing her cheek before sitting down. That job at the gallery must agree with you. Kate smiled. It does, actually. I'm learning a lot. And Carter, how's the pool business? Growing, Kate said proudly. He's signed 15 new clients in the last month. Billy nodded approvingly. Good. Maybe Diad will back off completely if he sees Carter can actually make something of himself. That's sort of what I wanted to talk to you about, Kate said, her heart racing. There's been a development. Billy's eyebrows shot up. What kind of development? Kate took a deep breath. Andre and I are getting married. Whoa! Billy sat back in his chair. That's fast. There's more, Kate continued. I'm pregnant. Billy's expression went from surprise to show. Cassis, you're what? Pregnant, Kate repeated. About 6 weeks along. Billy ran a hand through his perfectly styled hair. Jesus, Kate, Dad is going to lose his mind. I know, Kate said quietly. That's why I'm telling you first. I need your help, Billy. I need you to help me figure out how to break this to Mom and Dad in a way that won't completely destroy our truce. Billy let out a low whistle. That's a tall order, sis. Dad was barely tolerating the relationship as it was. A baby makes this permanent. I know, Kate repeated. But this is happening, Billy. I'm having this baby. I'm marrying Andre. I just don't want to lose my family in the process. Billy studied his sister's face. You really love him, don't you? This isn't just rebellion or defiance. I really love him, Kate confirmed. And he loves me. For me, not for the Ellington name or money. Billy was quiet for a long moment, thinking. Okay, he said finally. Here's what we do. Don't tell Dad about the pregnancy yet. Let's start with the engagement. We'll have a family dinner, make it official. Let Mom and Dad get used to the idea that you're getting married. Then in a few weeks we break the baby news. Kate considered the plan. You think that will work? I think it's our best shot, Billy said honestly. Dad might actually handle the marriage okay if he sees it as Carter doing the all-right thing by an Ellington. The baby news will still be a shock, but at least the marriage part will be settled. Kate reached across the table and squeezed her brother's hand. Thank you, Billy, for understanding, for helping. Billy squeezed back. You're my little sister, kitty cat. I might not always agree with your choices, but I'll always have your back. The family dinner was set for the following weekend. Kate spent the days leading up to it in a state of nervous anticipation. She and Andre decided on a simple announcement. No elaborate proposal story, just the straightforward truth that they were in love and planning to marry. Are you sure we shouldn't mention the baby? Andre asked, as they drove to the Ellington estate on Saturday evening. It feels dishonest to leave that part out. We're not lying, Kate clarified. We're just staging the news. Billy thinks it will be easier for my parents to process one thing at a time. Andre didn't look entirely convinced, but he nodded. Okay, but we tell them about the baby soon. I don't want our child to ever feel like a secret or something to be ashamed of. I promise, Kate assured him. Just let's get through tonight first. The dinner started awkwardly. William was cordial but distant, clearly still uncomfortable with Andre's presence at his table. Beatrice made nervous small talk, asking about the EE gallery and Andre's classes. Billy did his best to keep the conversation flowing, jumping in whenever the silence threatened to become oppressive. Finally, over dessert, Kate cleared her throat. Mom, Dad, we have something to tell you. Beatrice set down her fork, her eyes darting anxiously between Kate and Andre. William's expression didn't change, but his grip on his wine glass tightened. Andre and I are engaged, Kate announced, reaching for Andre's hand across the table. We're getting married. The silence that followed was deafening. Beatrice looked stunned. William's face had gone completely blank, a sure sign he was controlling a strong emotion. Billy jumped in, raising his glass. Congratulations, you two, to the happy couple. After a moment's hesitation, Beatrice lifted her glass as well. Yes, congratulations, she said, though her voice lacked conviction. When are you planning the wedding? We're thinking a small ceremony, Kate said. Nothing elaborate, probably in the spring. Spring? William spoke for the first time. Why the rush? Kate and Andre exchanged a quick glance. No rush, Andre said smoothly. We just don't see any reason to wait. We know what we want. William's eyes narrowed slightly, as if sensing there was more to the story. I see. Well, Beatrice said brightly, clearly trying to diffuse the tension, a springy wedding could be lovely. Perhaps at the country club. The gardens are beautiful in April. Kate hesitated. We were thinking of something simpler, Mom. Maybe the botanical gardens or even just a civil ceremony. A civil ceremony? Beatrice looked horrified. Catherine, you're an Ellington. You can't get married at City Hall like normal people? Kate finished for her. That's not what I meant. Beatrice backpedaled. It's just that, well, Elle, there are expectations. People will talk. Let them talk, Kate said firmly. This is our wedding, and we want it to reflect who we are. William set down his wine glass with a deliberate motion. And who exactly are you, Catherine? Because the daughter I raised understood her responsibilities to this family. She understood the importance of tradition, of maintaining certain standards. Dad, Kate began, but William held up a hand to silence her. You've already embarrassed this family once with your public spectacle, he continued. Now you're planning to compound that by marrying this man in some rushed, shabby ceremony that will only fuel more gossip. There's nothing shabby about a civil ceremony, Andre interjected, his voice calm but firm. And there's nothing rushed about our decision to get married. William's gaze shifted to Andre. Isn't there? You've known my daughter less than a year. Suddenly you're engaged, planning a quick wedding. What's the hurry, Mr. Carter? Afraid she'll come to her senses? Dad, Kate protested. It's okay, Andre said to Kate. Then to William, Sir, I understand your concerns. From your perspective, this seems fast, but I love your daughter. I want to build a life with her. That's all this is. William studied Andre intently, as if trying to read the truth in his eyes. Is it because it seems to me there might be another reason for this sudden engagement? Kate felt her heart skip a beat. Did he know? Had he guessed about the baby? Billy intervened. Dad, not everything is a conspiracy. They're in love. They want to get married. It's pretty straightforward. William's eyes never left Andre's face. Is it? Tell me, Mr. Carter, is my daughter pregnant? The bluntness of the question stunned everyone at the table. Beatrice gasped. Billy closed his eyes briefly, knowing their plan had failed. Kate looked at Andre, a silent communication passing between them. They had promised not to lie. Yes, Andre said simply. Kate is pregnant. We're having a baby. William's face flushed with anger. I knew it. This whole charade, the engagement, the rushed wedding plans, it was all because you got her pregnant. We were already talking about marriage before we found out about the baby, Kate insisted. This just accelerated our timeline a bit. How convenient, William said sarcastically. William, please, Beatrice implored. This is still our daughter we're talking about. Is she? William demanded. Because the daughter I raised wouldn't have thrown away her future like this, wouldn't have tied herself to a man so clearly beneath her. That's enough, Kate's voice rang out with an authority that surprised even her. I will not sit here and listen to you insult the father of my child. Andre is twice the man you are, Daddy. He works hard. He takes care of his family. He loves me for who I am, not what I represent. Catherine Elizabeth, William began, but Kate cut him off. No, I'm done letting you dictate my life. I'm done letting you judge people based on their bank account or their skin color. I'm having this baby. I'm marrying Andre. And if you can't accept that, then you won't be a part of our lives or your grandchild's life." William stood abruptly, his chair scraping against the hardwood floor. "You ungrateful girl. After everything I've given you." "Love isn't something you give with conditions," Kate interrupted. "It's something you give freely, completely. That's what Andre has taught me. That's what I want for my child." William's face hardened. "Get out, both of you." "Daddy, please," Kate pleaded, her anger giving way to sadness. "Don't do this. You've made your choice, Catherine," William said coldly. "Now you can live with it, but don't expect me to watch while you destroy your life." Beatrice rose from her chair, tears streaming down her face. "William, stop this. She's our daughter. That's our grandchild." "Not anymore," William said with chilling finality. "No child of that man will ever bear the Ellington name." The words hung in the air, brutal and final. Kate felt as if she'd been physically struck. Henri stood, his face a mask of controlled anger. "Mr. Ellington, I understand you're upset, but that's your grandchild you're rejecting. Your flesh and blood." "Get out of my house," William repeated, "before I have you removed." Kate rose on shaky legs. "Come on, Andre. There's nothing more to say here." Billy walked them to the door, his expression grim. "I'm sorry, Kate. I thought he might take it better." "It's not your fault," Kate said, hugging her bro there. "You tried." "I'll talk to him," Billy promised. "Give him time to cool down. Maybe he'll come around." Kate nodded, though she had little hope. The look in her father's eyes had been one of absolute rejection, not just of Andre, but of her, of their child, of the life she had chosen. In the car, Andre was silent for a long time. Finally, he spoke. "I'm sorry, Kate. I knew your father didn't approve of me, but I never thought he would reject his own grandchild." Kate wiped away tears. "This is who he is, Andre. Who he's always been. I just didn't want to see it before." "What do we do now?" Andre asked quietly. Kate placed a hand on her stomach, thinking of the tiny life growing inside her. "We move forward. We build our family with or without my parents' blessing." As they drove back to their apartment, Kate's phone buzzed with a text message from her mother. "I love you, Catherine. Your father will see Ohm around. He just needs time. Please don't shut us out. This is my grandchild too." Kate showed the message to Andre. "At least my mother is trying," Andre nodded. "That's something. Maybe she'll be the bridge we need." The next few weeks were a blur of activity as Kate and Andre adjusted to their new reality. They found a 2-bedroom apartment in a modest but safe neighborhood, closer to both Andre's classes and the gallery where Kate worked. It wasn't River Oaks, but it felt like home from the moment they moved in. Andre's business continued to grow, thanks partly to the publicity from their earlier media battle and partly to his reputation for excellent work. He hired 2 more employees to handle the expanding client list, allowing him more time for his studies and preparing for the baby. Kate threw herself into her job at the gallery, impressing the owner with her knowledge of art and her connections in Houston's social scene. She was offered a promotion to assistant manager, with a small raise that helped ease their financial concerns. One evening, as they were arranging furniture in what would become the nursery, Kate's phone rang. It was Beatrice. "Mum," Kate answered, surprised. She hadn't spoken to either of her parents since the disastrous dinner 3 weeks earlier. "Catherine," Beatrice's voice was tentative. "How are you feeling? The morning sickness isn't too bad, I hope." Kate sat on the edge of the small daybed they'd bought for the nursery. "It's manageable. Mostly in the afternoons, actually." "I was the same way with you," Beatrice said, a smile in her voice. "Your father used to joke that we should call it afternoon sickness instead." The mention of William created an awkward pause. "Mom, why are you calling?" Kate finally asked. Beatrice sighed. "I miss you, Catherine, and I've been thinking a lot about what you said that night, about love being without conditions." Another pause. "I don't want to lose you, or my grandchild." Kate felt her eyes fill with tears. "I don't want to lose you either, Mom." "I'd like to see you," Beatrice said hesitantly. Perhaps we could have lunch, just the two of us? Kate considered. Her mother was reaching out, a small olive branch, but significant given William's stance. I'd like that, she said final why. Wonderful, Beatrice sounded relieved. How about tomorrow? The cafe at the Museum of Fine Arts, around noon? That sounds perfect, Kate agreed. After hanging up, she told Andre about the conversation. Do you think she's sincere? He asked. Or is this your father's way of trying to get you back under his control? I think she's sincere, Kate said slowly. Mom has always been more flexible than Dad, and she loves being a grandmother to Billy's kids. I think she genuinely doesn't want to miss out on our baby's life. Andre nodded. I hope you're right. You deserve to have your mother in your life, and our child deserves a grandmother who loves them. The next day, Kate arrived at the museum cafe precisely at noon. Beatrice was already there, elegant as always in a faux. Pale blue suit that matched her eyes that lit up when she spotted her daughter. Catherine, Beatrice stood, embracing Kate warmly. You look wonderful. Kate returned the hug, inhaling the familiar scent of her mother's perfume. Thanks, Mum. So do you. They settled at a small table by the window, overlooking the museum's sculpture garden. After ordering, Beatrice reached across the table and took Kate's hand. I want you to know, she said, earnestly, that I've been doing a lot of thinking since that night, about the kind of mother I've been, the kind of grandmother I want to be. Kate squeezed her mother's hand. Mom, you don't have to. Please let me finish, Beatrice insisted gently. I've spent my entire adult life trying to be the perfect Ellington wife, supporting your father, maintaining our social position, upholding the family image, and somewhere along the way I forgot to just be your mother. Her eyes grew damp. I forgot to put your happiness first. Kate felt her own eyes filling with tears. Mom, when you told us about Andre, my first thought wasn't about your happiness, Beatrice admitted. It was about what people would say, how it would affect our standing, what your father would think. She shook her head sadly. I was wrong, Catherine. So wrong. What changed your mind? Kate asked softly. Beatrice smiled through her tears. You did. The way you stood up for Andre, for your love, for your child. You showed more courage in that moment than I've shown in 30 years of marriage. She reached into her purse and pulled out a small gift bag. I want you to have this. Kate opened the bag and gasped. Inside was a beautiful silver rattle, clearly an antique. It was yours, Beatrice explained, and mine before that and my mother's before that. I want your child to have it. Mum, thank you, Kate whispered, deeply touched by the gesture. This means so much to me. There's something else. Beatrice reached into her purse again and withdrew an envelope. Open it. Kate did, finding a check inside for a substantial amount. Mum, we can't accept this. Yes, you can, Beatrice said firmly. It's not from your father. It's from me. From an account he doesn't know about. She smiled slightly at Kate's surprised expression. Even the perfect Ellington wife needs her independence, Catherine. I've been putting money aside for years, just in case. In case of what? Kate asked. Beatrice shrugged elegantly. In case I needed to help my children, in case I needed to leave. She waved a hand dismissively. It doesn't matter. What matters is that this is for you and your baby. For a down payment on a house, perhaps, or for the child's education. Kate was stunned by this glimpse of a mother-ess he'd never known. A woman with her own secret resources, her own quiet rebellion against William's control. Thank you, she said sincerely. But what about Dad? Won't he be angry if he finds out you're seeing me? Beatrice's expression hardened slightly. Your father doesn't control me, Catherine. Not completely. Never completely. He's made his choice regarding you and Andre, but I've made mine as well. I will not lose my daughter or my grandchild because of his pride. Kate felt a newfound respect for her mother blooming in her heart. I never knew you could stand up to him like this. There's a lot you don't know about me, Beatrice said with a small smile. Perhaps it's time we change that. Over lunch, they talked more openly than they ever had before. Beatrice asked about the pregnancy, about Andre, about their plans for the future. Kate shared her hopes and fears, finding in her mother an unexpected ally and source of wisdom. "Have you thought about names?" Beatrice asked as they finished their meal. Kate nodded. "If it's a boy, we're thinking of naming him after Andre's father, Michael. And if it's a girl—" She hesitated, then plunged ahead. "If it's a girl, we were thinking of Elizabeth after you." Beatrice's eyes widened. "After me?" "Your middle name," Kate reminded her. "Elizabeth was your mother's name too, wasn't it?" "Yes," Beatrice whisper-read, visibly moved. "My mother. She would have loved you so much, Catherine, and she would have adored Andre for making you so happy." As they parted outside the museum, Beatrice hugged Kate tightly. "This isn't going to be easy," she warned. "Your father is stubborn. But I'm here, Catherine. Whatever happens, I'm here." "That means everything, Mum," Kate said, returning the hug. "Everything." When Kate returned to their apartment and told Andre about tea, "Hey, lunch," he was cautiously optimistic. "It sounds like your mother is really trying," he observed. "That's a good sign." "She gave me this for the baby." Kate showed him the silver rattle. "It's been in her family for generations." Andre held the rattle carefully, examining the intricate engraving. "It's beautiful. A piece of your history for our child." "And this," Kate added, showing him the check, "for a house or the baby's education, from her personal account." Andre whistled softly at the amount. "That's incredibly generous." "She's taking a real risk, Andre," Kate said seriously. "Standing against my father like this." Andre nodded thoughtfully. "Maybe this is the beginning of something new, a bridge between our worlds." Over the next few months, Kate and Beatrice developed a new relationship, meeting regularly for lunch, shopping for baby items together, sharing the journey of Kate's pregnancy in a WA that brought them closer than they'd ever been. Beatrice never brought William to these meetings, but she occasionally brought news from home. "Your father asks about you," she revealed during one lunch. "He tries to be casual about it, but I can tell he misses you." "He knows where to find me," Kate said, trying to keep the hurt from her voice. "The door is always open." "Give him time," Beatrice advised. "He's struggling with his pride, with his rigid view of the world. But you're his little girl, and this is his grandchild." Kate wasn't convinced, but she appreciated her mother's efforts to mend the family rift. Andre, meanwhile, was thriving. He'd won the Harrington Scholarship, easing their financial burden considerably. His pool service now employed 8 people and served clients across the Houston area. And he was on track to graduate with his engineering degree in the spring, just before the baby was due. One evening in her 6th month of pregnancy, Kate was organizing the nursery when her phone rang. It was Billy. "Hey, kitty cat," he greeted her. "How's my little niece or nephew doing?" Kate smiled, resting a hand on her now prominent baby bump. "Active, very active, especially at night. Takes after their uncle," Billy joked. "I've always been a night owl." "What's up, Billy?" Kate asked. Her brother rarely called without a reason. "I need to talk to you," Billy said, his voice turning serious. "About Dad." Kate tensed. "What about him?" "He's not doing well, Kate," Billy admitted. "The company's facing some challenges, and he's been working himself to exhaustion. Mom's worried about him." "I'm sorry to hear that," Kate said sincerely. "But what does this have to do with me?" "He needs his family, Kate," Billy explained. "All of his family. His pride is keeping him from reaching out, but I know he misses you." Kate sighed. "Billy, I can't make the first move. Not after the things he said about Andre, about our baby." I know," Billy agreed. "But what if there was a way to bring you two together on neutral ground? Something that wouldn't feel like either of you was giving in?" "Like what?" Kate asked skeptically. "Like a business proposal," Billy suggested. "Andre's company is doing well, right? Expanding?" "Yes," Kate confirmed. "He's the inking about moving beyond pool services into larger water management projects." "Perfect," Billy sounded excited. "I've been working on a new development deal for Ellington Oil, luxury condos on Lake Houston. They'll need someone to handle the water features, pool maintenance, that sort of thing." Kate understood immediately what her brother was suggesting. "You want Andre to bid on the contract?" "Why not?" Billy asked. "His company is qualified. It would be a huge opportunity for him, and it would give Dad a chance to see what Andre has built, to respect him as a businessman if nothing else." Kate was torn. The opportunity would be significant for Andre's company, potentially taking it to the next level. But it also felt like stepping back into the Ellington orbit, with all the complications that entailed. "I don't know, Billy," she said hesitantly. "I'd have to talk to Andre about it." "Just think about it," Billy urged. "The formal request for proposals goes out next week. This could be good for everyone, Kate, a way back." After hanging up, Kate sat in the nursery, surrounded by the tiny clothes and toys they'd begun collecting for the baby. She thought about her child growing up without knowing their grandfather, without being part of the extended Ellington family. For all its flaws, that family was still part of who she was, part of what she would pass on to her child. When Andre came home that evening, she told him about Billy's call. He listened thoughtfully, considering the proposal from all angles. "It's a big opportunity," he acknowledged, "the kind of contract that could take the company to another level." "But," Kate prompted, sensing his hesitation. "But I don't want to be given anything because of you," Andre said honestly. "I want to earn my success on my own merits." "Billy says it would be a legitimate bidding process," Kate assured him. "You'd have to compete with other companies. The only advantage would be getting your foot in the door." Andre considered this. "And you think this might help heal the rift with your father?" "Maybe," Kate said cautiously. "At the very least it would put you two in contact again, but in a professional context. He might see you differently, as a businessman, not just the man who took his daughter." Andre was quiet for a long moment. "I'll think about it," he said finally. "It's a business decision, but it's also more than that. I need to be sure." A week later, Andre submitted his company's proposal for the Lake Houston project. The bidding process would take a month, with presentations from the finalists to the Ellington Oil executive team, including William. During that month, Kate's pregnancy progressed into the third trimester. She and Beatrice continued their regular lunches, and Kate found herself hoping, despite her better judgment, that the business connection might indeed provide a path back to reconciliation with her father. The day of the final presentations arrived. Andre had prepared meticulously, creating detailed plans for the water features and maintenance systems for the luxury condo development. Kate had helped him polish his presentation, drawing on her years of observing her father in business settings. "You're going to be amazing," she assured him that morning, straightening his tie. Andre had invested in a proper business suit for the occasion, his first. "I just hope I'm judged fairly," Andre said. "On the quality of our proposal, not on your father's feelings about me." "Billy will be there," Kate reminded him. "He won't let Dad dismiss you unfairly." As Andre left for the presentation, Kate felt a mix of hope and anxiety. So much was riding on this meeting, not just a business opportunity, but potentially a bridge back to her family. Hours later, her phone rang. It was Andre. "How did it go?" she asked immediately. "The presentation went well," Andre said, his voice difficult to read. "Your father was professional. He asked tough questions, but they were fair. The kind he'd ask any contractor. That's good, right?" Kate asked hopefully. "It is," Andre agreed. "But Kate, there's something else. After the formal presentations, your father asked to speak with me privately." Kate's heart skipped a beat. "What did he say?" "He asked about you, about the baby." Andre's voice softened. "He wanted to know if you were healthy, if everything was progressing normally with the pregnancy." Tears sprang to Kate's eyes. "He did?" "Yes. And then he said something that surprised me. He said that whatever happens with the contract, he wanted me to know Tiwa. He respects what I've built. That he can see I'm a serious businessman, not just—" Andre hesitated. "Not just what?" Kate prompted. "Not just the pool boy," Andre finished. Those were his exact words. Kate felt a surge of hope. It wasn't an apology, but coming from William Ellington, it was significant. "Did he say anything else?" "He asked if we would consider coming to dinner next weekend," Andre said, "all of us, at the house." Kate sat down, overwhelmed by this unexpected development. "What did you say?" "I said I'd discuss it with you," Andre replied. "That it would be your decision." Kate thought about the olive branch her father was extending, small and tentative but real. After months of silence and rejection, he was reaching out. "Tell him yes," she decided. "We'll go." The week leading up to the dinner was filled with nervous anticipation. Kate wondered what had prompted her father's change of heart. Was it seeing Andre as a legitimate businessman? Was it missing his daughter? Or was it simply the reality of a grandchild on the way, breaking through his stubborn pride? When the day arrived, Kate dressed carefully in a maternity dress that flattered her 7-month belly. As they drove through the gates of the Ellington estate, she squeezed Andre's hand. "Whatever happens in there," she said, "we face it together." Andre brought her hand to his lips. "Together?" Beatrice met them at the door, her face glowing with happiness at seeing them. "Catherine, Andre, come in, come in." She embraced Kate carefully, mindful of her belly, then surprised everyone by hugging Andre as well. "How you look wonderful, both of you. And look at you, Catherine, pregnancy agrees with you." Billy appeared in the foyer, grinning broadly. "The prodigal sister returns." He hugged Kate and shook Andre's hand warmly. "Good to see you both." "Where's Dad?" Kate asked, glancing around nervously. "In his study," Beatrice replied. "He asked that you go see him, Catherine. Alone at first." Kate looked at Andre, uncertain. "It's okay," he assured her. "I'll be right here." With a deep breath, Kate made her way down the familiar hallway to her father's study. She knocked on the heavy wooden door. "Come in," William's voice called. Kate entered to find her father standing by the window, looking out at the garden. He turned as she entered, and she was shocked by the changes in him. He looked older, more tired than she remembered, with new lines etched in his face. "Catherine," he said, his voice gruff with emotion, "you look well." "I am well, Daddy," she said softly. William's eyes went to her rounded belly, and something flickered across his face, a mixture of wonder and regret. "The baby is healthy." "Very healthy," Kate confirmed. "Active, too, especially at night." A ghost of a smile touched William's lips. "You were the same way. Used to keep your mother up half the night with your kicking." An awkward silence fell between them, heavy with months of unspoken words and hurt feelings. Finally, William cleared his throat. "I owe you an apology, Catherine." Kate's eyes widened. William Ellington did not apologize, ever. "The things I said that night," he continued, "about your child, about Carter, they were unforgivable." "Why did you say them then?" Kate asked quietly. William sighed heavily, looking suddenly older than his years. "Fear, I suppose. Fear of losing you. Fear of change." He shook his head. "I've spent my life building something for you and Billy to inherit. When you chose a different path, a path I didn't understand, it felt like rejection of everything I'd worked for." "It was never about rejecting you, Daddy," Kate said gently. "It was about following my heart." "I see that now," William admitted. "I saw it when Carter presented his business proposal. The man has built something impressive from nothing, something he can be proud of." He met Kate's eyes directly. "Something our grandchild can be proud of." Kate felt tears welling up. "Does this mean you accept Andre? Accept our child?" William moved toward her, closing the distance between them. "It means I'm trying, Catherine. For you. For my grandchild." He reached out hesitantly, his hand hovering over her belly. "May I?" Kate nodded, tears flowing freely now. William placed his hand gently on her stomach, and as if on cue, the baby kicked against his palm. His eyes widened in wonder. "Strong," he murmured, "like an Ellington." "Like a Carter," Kate corrected gently. "But yes, strong." William nodded, accepting the correction. "Catherine, I can't promise I'll Changi overnight. I'm an old dog with old ways of thinking, but I can promise to try, for you, for this little one." He paused, "And yes, for Carter too." "That's all I ask, Daddy," Kate said, embracing her father for the first time in months. "Just try." When they joined the others in the living room, Andre stood nervously, watching Kate's face for a sign of how the conversation had gone. She smiled at him through her tears, and he relaxed slightly. William approached Andre, his hand extended. "Carter," Andre shook it firmly. "Mr. Ellington." "I understand congratulations are in order," William said formally. "Not just for the baby, but for your company as well. The committee was impressed with your proposal for Lake Houston." Andre's eyes widened slightly. "Does that mean—" "The contract is yours," William confirmed. "On merit, not because of your connection to my daughter. Your proposal was superior in every aspect." "Thank you, sir," Andre said sincerely. "My team will do excellent work for you." William nodded. "I expect nothing less." He glanced at Kate, then back to Andre. "And I want you to know that while I may have reservations about some things, I respect what you've built. And I respect that you've made my daughter happy." It wasn't a ringing endorsement, but from William Ellington it was significant. Kate could see that Andre understood this too. "Thank you, sir," he said again. "Your daughter's happiness is my priority. Always." William nodded once more, then turned to Beatrice. "I believe dinner is ready?" As they moved toward the dining room, Kate slipped her hand into Andre's. "He's trying," she whispered. "I know," Andre replied. "And so am I." It wasn't perfect. There were still moments of tension during dinner, still careful navigation of sensitive topics. But there was also laughter, shared stories, and most importantly, a sense of possibility. The possibility that two very different worlds might find a way to coexist, to become one family. As they drove home that night, Kate rested her hand on her belly, feeling their child move beneath her palm. "I think it's going to be okay," she said softly. "Not perfect, but okay." Andre covered her hand with his own. "More than okay," he corrected her. "We're going to be a family, all of us, in our own way." Kate looked out at the night sky, filled with stars and promise. "Yes," she agreed, "a family." What she didn't know was that the greatest test of this fragile peace was still to come. In just a few weeks, everything would change again, for better and for worse. 2 weeks after the dinner at the Ellington estate, Kate sat at her desk in the gallery, organizing files for an upcoming exhibition. At 8 months pregnant, she'd cut back her hours but insisted on continuing to work until closer to her due date. Her phone lit up with a text from Andre. "Contract for Lake Houston, officially signed. Taking the team out for lunch to celebrate. Love you." Kate smiled, pride warming her chest. Andre's company had secured the Ellington oil contract fairly, on the strength of his work and vision. It was a major step forward for his business and for their relationship with her family. The past 2 weeks had seen a tentative thawing, sung of relations. William had called twice, awkward conversations that nonetheless represented progress. Beatrice visited regularly, bringing baby gifts and maternal advice. Even Billy stopped by their apartment, bringing cigars for Andre for when the little one arrives. It wasn't perfect. William still struggled to fully accept Andre, to see past his own prejudices. But he was trying, making an effort for the sake of his grandchild, if nothing else. As Kate reached for her phone to reply to Andre's text, a sharp pain gripped her abdomen. She gasped, clutching the edge of her desk until it passed. "Probably just Braxton Hicks," she murmured to herself. The false contractions had been coming more frequently lately, her body practicing for the real thing. And then she felt it, a rush of warmth between her legs. Her water had broken. "Lisa," she called to her coworker. "But you're not due for another month." "Tell that to the baby," Kate said, grimacing as another contraction began. "Call Andre and my mother." Within minutes, Lisa had helped Kate to her car and was driving her to Houston Memorial Hospital. Andre was already on his way, as was Beatrice. By the time Kate was settled in a lab or room, the contractions were coming every 7 minutes. The doctor confirmed she was in active labor. "The baby's coming early," Dr. Reynolds explained, "but at 36 weeks the lungs should be developed enough. Still, we'll monitor closely." Andre arrived, breathless and worried, his shirt still damp from jumping out of a client's pool when he got the call. Kate, are you okay, the baby? We're both fine, Kate assured him, reaching for his hand. Just a little eager to meet you. Andre pressed his forehead to hers. You scared me. When Lisa called, I thought... I know, Kate squeezed his hand, but we're okay, really. Beatrice arrived next, elegant even in her rush, carrying a small overnight bag for Kate. I grabbed some things from your apartment, she explained, kissing Kate's cheek. The doorman let me in. Thanks, Mum, Kate said gratefully. Beatrice turned to Andre, surprising him with a warm hug. How are you holding up? Better now that I'm here, he admitted. As the hours passed, Kate's labor progressed steadily. The contractions grew stronger, closer together. Andre never left her side, supporting her through each wave of pain, whispering encouragement. Beatrice stepped out occasionally to update Billy, who was stuck in a business meeting but promised to come as soon as he could. Of William, there was no mention. 8 hours in, Dr. Reynolds... Kate looked at Andre, suddenly terrified. I can't do this. Yes, you can, he said firmly, his eyes never leaving hers. You're the strongest person I know, Catherine Ellington, and I'm right here with you. With Andre on one side and Beatrice on the other, Kate began to push. The pain was like nothing she'd ever experienced, consuming, overwhelming. But Andre's voice anchored her, his hand strong and steady in hers. You're doing great, Dr. Reynolds encouraged. I can see the head. One more big push. Kate gathered her remaining strength and pushed with everything she had. There was a moment of searing pressure, then sudden relief, and the most beautiful sound she'd ever heard. Her baby's first cry. It's a girl, Dr. Reynolds announced, placing the tiny wriggling infant on Kate's chest. Kate stared down at her daughter through tears of joy. She was perfect, tiny but strong, with a shock of dark hair and skin, a beautiful blend of Kate's fairness and Andre's rich brown. Elizabeth, Kate whispered, looking up at Andre. Elizabeth Carter. Andre nodded, tears streaming down his face as he gently touched his daughter's cheek. Elizabeth, he agreed, after her grandmother. Beatrice, who had moved back to give the new parents this moment, covered her mouth to stifle a sob. Oh, Catherine, she breathed. She's beautiful. After Elizabeth was cleaned, weighed, and pronounced healthy despite her early arrival, the nurse returned her to Kate's arms. Andre sat on the edge of the bed, unable to take his eyes off his daughter. I can't believe she's really here, he said in wonder, that we made this perfect little person. A knock at the door interrupted the moment. Billy poked his head in. Is it safe to come in? Come meet your nicey, Kate called, smiling tiredly. Billy entered bearing an enormous teddy bear and a bouquet of pink roses. Hey there, little one, he cooed, peering down at Elizabeth. I'm your Uncle Billy, the fun one. Kate laughed. Don't corrupt her just yet. She's only an hour old. Billy grinned, then turned serious. She really is beautiful, Kate. He glanced at Andre. Good job, man. Andre chuckled. All Kate. I just stood there feeling useless. Not useless, Kate corrected him. Essential. Another knock came at the door. This time, when it opened, William Ellington stood in the doorway. The room fell silent. William looked uncertain, almost vulnerable, an expression Kate had rarely seen on her father's face. Dad, she said softly. You came. William cleared his throat. Your mother called, said I had a granddaughter. His voice was gruff with emotion. I hope it's all right that I'm here. Of course it is, Kate said, motioning him closer. Come meet Elizabeth. William approached slowly, his eyes fixed on the bundle in Kate's arms. When he reached the bedside, he hesitated. Would you like to hold her? Kate offered. William looked startled, then deeply moved. May I? Kate carefully transferred Elizabeth to her father's arms. William cradled the tiny infant with surprising gentleness, studying her face with wonder. Elizabeth, he repeated the name, after your mother, a good, strong name. He looked up at Kate, then at Andre. She has your eyes, Carter, and Catherine's chin. Andre nodded, watching his daughter in William's arms. She's perfect. Yes, William agreed, his voice thick. She is. He looked at Andre directly. "You have a beautiful family, Carter. One to be proud of." "Thank you, sir," Andre replied, understanding the significance of William's words. "I know how fortunate I am." William said Elizabeth to Kate, then stepped back, suddenly self-conscious. "I should let you rest. I wanted to see her. To see you." "I'm glad you came, Daddy," Kate said sincerely. As William turned to leave, Andre surprised everyone by following him to the door. "Mr. Ellington," he said quietly, "may I speak with you for a moment?" William nodded, and the two men stepped into the hallway. "What is it, Carter?" William asked. Andre took a deep breath. "I want to thank you for coming today. It means everything to Kate and to me." William looked uncomfortable with the gratitude. "She's my daughter. Elizabeth is my granddaughter." "Yes," Andre agreed, "and I want you to know that no matter what's happened between us, you will always be welcome in our home, in Elizabeth's life. She deserves to know her grandfather." William studied Andre's face, looking for any sign of insincerity. Finding none, he nodded once. "I appreciate that, Carter. And I want you to know..." He paused, choosing his words carefully. "I want you to know that while I may have had reservations about you, I can see how much you love my daughter, how much you love that little girl in there. More than anything," Andre confirmed. "That's all a father can ask for," William said quietly, "that his daughter is loved, protected." He extended his hand. "Thank you for that." Andre shook William's hand firmly, understanding that this was as close to a blessing as he was likely to get from Catherine Ellington's father. For now, it was enough. When they returned to the room, Kate looked between them questioningly. Andre gave her a small nod, letting her know everything was all right. The next few days passed in a blur of visitors, nurses, and the steep learning curve of new parenthood. Kate and Andre brought Elizabeth home to their small apartment, now transformed by the presence of this tiny, demanding new person. Andre took 2 weeks off from work to help Kate adjust, proving himself an enthusiastic if sometimes fumbling father. His large hands looked enormous against Elizabeth's tiny body, but they were unfailingly gentle as he changed diapers, gave baths, and cradled his daughter to sleep. Kate watched him singing softly to Elizabeth one evening, his deep voice lulling the baby to sleep, and felt her heart might burst with love for them both. "You're a natural," she whispered, when Elizabeth's eyes finally closed. Andre carefully placed the sleeping infant in her bassinet. "I feel terrified most of the time, like I might break her." "You won't," Kate assured him. "You're a wonderful father." "I'm trying to be," Andre said quietly. "I want to give her everything my parents gave me before they died. Security, confidence. The knowledge that she's loved completely." Kate touched his face gently. "You already do." Their peaceful moment was interrupted by Kate's phone buzzing. It was Beatrice. "Mom? Everything okay?" Kate answered, keeping her voice low to avoid waking Elizabeth. "Catherine," Beatrice's voice was strained. "It's your father. He's had a heart attack." Kate felt the blood drain from her face. "What? When? Is he?" "He's alive," Beatrice quickly assured her. "But it was serious. He's in the ICU at Memorial. The doctors say the next 24 hours are critical." "We're on our way," Kate said immediately, looking at Andre, who was already reaching for his keys. Within an hour, they'd arranged for Andre's sister Zoe to watch Elizabeth and were hurrying through the corridors of Memorial Hospital toward the cardiac intensive care unit. Beatrice met them outside William's room, her usual elegant composure replaced by haggard worry. "They're only allowing family in one at a time," she explained, hugging Kate tightly. Kate turned to Andre. "I'll go first. Will you be okay waiting?" Andre nodded. "Take as long as you need, I'll be right here." Steeling herself, Kate entered her father's room. The sight of William Ellington, always so strong, so commanding, now reduced to a pale figure in a hospital bed, hooked up to monitors and IVs, nearly broke her. "Daddy," she whispered, approaching the bed. William's eyes fluttered open. "Catherine?" His voice was weak, barely audible over the beeping of the machines. "I'm here," Kate assured him, taking his hand. It felt cooler than usual, frailer somehow. "Mom called us." "What happened?" "Collapsed. Hey, in a meeting," William managed. "Pain in my chest, couldn't breathe." "You need to rest," Kate said, squeezing his hand gently. "Don't try to talk." William shook his head slightly. "Need to tell you. Important." Kate leaned closer. "Tell me what, Daddy?" "Sorry," William whispered. "For everything. The way I treated Carter. The things I said. About the baby." Tears filled Kate's eyes. "It's okay, Daddy. We've moved past that." "No," William insisted, his grip on her hand tightening slightly. "Need you to know I was wrong, so wrong." He took a labored breath. "Proud of you, Catherine. Standing up for what you believed in, who you loved." Kate couldn't hold back her tears any longer. "Daddy, please. You can tell me all this when you're better." William's eyes locked with hers, suddenly intense. "If something happens, if I don't say that," Kate interrupted. "You're going to be fine." "If I don't," William repeated stubbornly. "Tell Elizabeth. Her grandfather loved her, even before he met her. Tell Carter. I respect him. Man of principle." Kate nodded through her tears. "I'll tell them, but you'll tell them yourself when you're better." William closed his eyes, his strength clearly failing. "Love you, Catherine. Always have." "I love you too, Daddy," Kate whispered, pressing a kiss to his forehead. "Now rest, get stronger." As Kate left the room, she was shaking with emotion. Andre immediately enfolded her in his arms. "He's so weak," she sobbed against his chest. "I've never seen him like this." "He's tough," Andre reminded her. "Han Ellington through and through, he'll fight." Billy arrived as they were talking, looking disheveled and panicked. "How is he?" "Stable for now," Beatrice explained. "The doctors say the next 24 hours will tell us more." The night stretched endlessly as they took turns sitting with William. Kate called home frequently to check on Elizabeth, finding comfort in Andre's steady presence through the crisis. Near dawn, as Kate dozed in an uncomfortable waiting room chair, her head on Andre's shoulder, a doctor approached them. "Mrs. Ellington?" He addressed Beatrice. "Your husband is showing signs of improvement. His vital signs have stabilized, and the latest blood work is encouraging." Beatrice sagged with relief. "Thank God. He's not out of the woods yet," the doctor cautioned, "but he's moving in the right direction." Over the next 3 days, William's condition continued to improve. By the 4th day, he was moved out of intensive care into a regular room. His color was better, his voice stronger, though the heart attack had clearly taken a toll. "The cardiologist says he'll need to make significant lifestyle changes," Beatrice explained to Kate and Andre as they visited. "Less stress, healthier diet, more rest." "Dad, less stress," Billy scoffed. "Might as well ask a shark to become a vegetarian." "He'll adjust," Beatrice said firmly, "because he has to for all of us." When they entered William's room, they found him sitting up in bed, looking at something on his tablet. He set it aside when he saw them. "There they are," he said, his voice still weaker than normal but with some of its old authority. "Where's my granddaughter?" "At home with Zoe," Kate explained, kissing his cheek. "Hospitals aren't the best place for newborns." William nodded in understanding. "Carter," he acknowledged Andre, with what almost looked like warmth. "Thank you for coming, for being here for Catherine." "Of course, sir," Andre replied. "How are you feeling?" "Like I've been hit by a truck," William admitted, "but the doctors say I was lucky. If Billy hadn't been there when it happened, if the ambulance hadn't arrived so quickly," he let the sentence hang. "We're just glad you're getting better, Daddy," Kate said, taking his hand. W. Iliam squeezed her fingers. "This kind of thing, it puts things in perspective." He looked at Andre. "Life's too short for stubbornness, for pride, for letting old prejudices keep you from the people who matter." Andre nodded, understanding the significance of William's words. "When I get out of here," William continued, "I'd like to have you all over for dinner, at the house, all of you, including Elizabeth." He paused. "If that's all right with you." We'd like that, Kate said, exchanging a smile with Andre. 2 weeks later, William was released from the hospital with strict instructions to take it easy. The dinner was postponed until he had regained more of his strength, but he insisted on having Andre bring Elizabeth to visit. The sight of William Ellington, Texas oil tycoon and formidable businessman, cradling his tiny granddaughter with awe in his eyes, was one Kate knew she would cherish forever. "She's growing so fast," William marveled, as Elizabeth gripped his finger with her tiny hand. "Every day," Andre confirmed. "She's already outgrowing some of her newborn clothes." "Smart, too," William declared. "Look at those eyes, taking everything in. She's got the Ellington intelligence." "And the Carter determination," Kate added with a smile at Andre. William nodded in agreement. "A powerful combination." He looked up at Andre. "You know, Carter, I've been thinking. With my health situation, I'll be stepping back from some of my roles at Ellington Oil. Billy will take over as CEO, but there are other positions opening up, including a spot on the board." Andre blinked in surprise. "Sir, the Lake Ho-Uston project is just the beginning," William continued. "We're expanding into sustainable development, water conservation systems, areas where your expertise would be valuable." Andre looked stunned. "Are you offering me a job, Mr. Ellington?" "I'm offering you a seat at the table," William clarified. "You'd still run your own company, of course, but as a board member you'd have input on Ellington Oil's future direction, a voice in the company that will one day belong, in part, to your daughter." Kate held her breath, watching Andre's face. This was her father extending more than an olive branch. It was a full acknowledgement of Andre as family, as an equal. "I'd be honored," Andre said finally, his voice thick with emotion. "Thank you, sir." William waved away the thanks. "It's a business decision. You've proven yourself a capable businessman, Carter. And family should work together, not against each other, family." The word hung in the air, significant and healing. 4 months later, on a perfect spring day, Kate stood in a small room at the Houston Botanical Gardens, wearing a simple white dress that flowed around her postpartum curves. Elizabeth, now plump and happy at 5 months old, was being entertained by Zoe, who took her maid-of-honor duties very seriously. "Nervous?" Beatrice asked, adjusting Kate's veil. "Not at all," Kate replied truthfully. "I have been waiting for this day my whole life. I just didn't know it." Beatrice smiled, tears glistening in her eyes. "You look beautiful, Catherine, so happy." "I am happy, Mom," Kate said, hugging her mother carefully to avoid wrinkling either of their dresses. A knock at the door signaled it was time. William entered, looking distinguished in his tuxedo, though he walked more slowly than before his heart attack. "Ready, Catherine?" he asked, offering his arm. "Ready, Daddy," she confirmed, taking it. The ceremony was small but lovely, held in the rose garden with only family and close friends in attendance. Andre waited beneath an arch of white roses, looking handsome and slightly overwhelmed in his formal suit. Marcus stood beside him as best man, beaming with pride. As William walked Kate down the aisle, she felt a profound sense of rightness. This was where she was meant to be, with these people who had become her world. When they reached Andre, William surprised everyone by embracing him before placing Kate's hand in his. "Take care of each other," he said simply. The vows were traditional but heartfelt. When Andre slipped the ring on Kate's finger, a simple band of white gold, all they could afford but more precious to her than any diamond, she felt her heart might burst with joy. "I now pronounce you husband and wife," the officiant declared. "You may kiss the bride." Andre pulled Kate close, his kiss a promise of all the years to come. At the small reception afterward, held in the Botanical Gardens pavilion, William tapped his glass for attention. His health had improved significantly in the months since his heart attack, though he would never be quite the same forceful presence he once was. "I'd like to say a few words," he announced. The room quieted. When Catherine first introduced Andre to us, I reacted poorly. There were a few chuckles at this understatement. I was wrong, dead wrong, and I nearly lost my daughter because of my stubbornness. He looked at Kate and Andre, seated together with Elizabeth on Andre's lap. But today I gained a son, and I already had the most beautiful granddaughter a man could ask for. He raised his glass. To Kate and Andre, may your life together be filled with the joy you've already brought to ours. To Kate and Andre, the guests echoed. Later, as they danced their first dance as husband and wife, Kate rested her head on Andre's chest, listening to the steady beat of his heart. Happy? He murmured against her hair. Completely, she replied. You? More than I ever thought possible. Andre pulled back slightly to look into her eyes. I love you, Catherine Carter. I love you too, Andre Carter, Kate replied. Always will. As the evening wore on, Kate found herself standing on the pavilion's edge, watching her family. Andre was dancing with Elizabeth in his arms, the baby giggling as he swayed gently to the music. Beatrice was deep in conversation with Andre's siblings. Billy was charming Andre's employees with his usual wit. And William, her father, who had once been so adamantly opposed to this union, was watching it all with a contentment Kate had rarely seen in him. He joined her at the railing. Quite a family we have now, he observed, following her gaze. Yes, Kate agreed. Quite a family. I was wrong about him, William admitted quietly. About a lot of things. But you learned, Kate pointed out. You changed. William nodded thoughtfully. Nearly dying has a way of clarifying what matters. He looked at his daughter. I'm proud of you, Catherine. You saw what was truly important long before I did. You had the courage to fight for it. I learned that from you, Kate said. The fighting part, anyway. William chuckled. Perhaps, but you fought for the right things. He gestured toward Andre and Elizabeth. For love, for family, for a future built on something real. As the evening drew to a close, Kate and Andre prepared to leave for a brief honeymoon. Just 3 days at a beachfront hotel, all they could manage with a new baby and their busy lives. Elizabeth would stay with Beatrice and William, an arrangement that would have seemed impossible just months ago but now felt completely natural. We'll take good care of her, Beatrice promised, cradling her granddaughter. You two enjoy yourselves. Call us if you need anything, Kate said, kissing Elizabeth's plump cheek. Anything at all. She'll be fine, William assured them, already making silly faces at the baby. Won't you, Lizzie-Belle? Tell Mama and Daddy you'll be just fine with Grandpa. And Dree chuckled at the transformation of the once formidable William Ellington into a doting grandfather. If you'd told me a year ago that we'd be leaving our daughter with your parents for our honeymoon, I'd have thought you were crazy, he murmured to Kate. Life is full of surprises, Kate replied, watching her father bounce Elizabeth gently. Some of them are even good. As they drove away from the reception, waves of goodbyes following them, Kate looked back at the family gathered on the steps, her mother and father, Billy, Andre's siblings, friends, old and new. All united now by the tiny miracle that was Elizabeth and the love that had brought Kate and Andre together against all odds. We did it, she said softly. We stood our ground. We built something new. Andre took her hand, kissing her knuckles. We're just getting started. 6 months later, Kate and Andre stood on the porch of their new home, a modest but charming 3-bedroom house with a spacious yard and, of course, a beautiful pool that Andre had designed himself. It wasn't in River Oaks, but it was in a good neighborhood, close enough to both their families, but distinctly their own. Elizabeth, now nearly a year old, toddled unsteadily across the grass, chasing a butterfly with determined concentration. Beatrice watched her from a nearby lawn chair, ready to intervene if the little explorer strayed too far. William and Billy were deep in conversation with Andre about the newest Ellington oil project, a major expansion into renewable energy systems, with Andre's company handling all the water conservation aspects. The relationship between William and Andre had evolved into something resembling respect, even friendship. They would never see eye to eye on everything, but they had found common ground in their love for Kate and Elizabeth and their S-haired vision for a more sustainable future. Kate watched them all, her heart full. The path to this moment had been harder than she'd ever imagined when she first reached for Andre's hand at that fateful garden party. There had been pain, rejection, struggle, but there had also been courage, growth, and a love that had proven strong enough to break down the barriers between their worlds. Andre caught her watching and excused himself from the men, coming to wrap his arms around her from behind. "What are you thinking about, Mrs. Carter?" he murmured against her ear. Kate leaned back against him, savoring his solid warmth. "About how far we've come, about how love really can change everything." Andre followed her gaze to where Elizabeth was now being swung between William and Billy, her laughter ringing out like tiny bells. "It changed your father. It changed our lives. It changed me," Kate added softly. "Made me braver, stronger." "You were always those things," Andre corrected her. "You just needed the right reason to show it." As the Texas sun began to set, painting the sky in vivid pinks and golds, the extended family gathered around the patio table for dinner. There was laughter, conversation, the comfortable chaos of people who had found their way to each other despite every obstacle. William raised his glass in a toast. "To family," he said simply, "I and all its forms." "To family," they echoed. Later, after everyone had gone and Elizabeth was asleep in her crib, Kate and Andre stood by the pool in their backyard, the water reflecting the stars above. "Remember when we first met?" Andre asked, his arm around her shoulders. "Right by the Ellingtons' pool, you came over and started talking to the help." Kate smiled at the memory. "Best decision I ever made. Even with everything that came after, the fight with your family, the struggle. Especially with all that," Kate said firmly. "That's how I know what we have is real. It survived everything they threw at us. It made us stronger." Andre turned to face her, cupping her face in his hands. "I love you, Catherine Carter, more today than yesterday, more tomorrow than today." "I love you too," Kate whispered, stretching up to kiss him. "Always will." Above them, the Texas sky stretched endless and bright with city's possibilities. Behind them, their daughter slept peacefully in the home they had built together. Around them, the world had changed, not completely, not perfectly, but significantly. Barriers had fallen, hearts had opened, love had won. And the man by the water and the woman who had defied her world to be with him stood together under the stars, their story still unfolding, still growing, one day at a time. The end door. This time, when it opened, William M. Ellington stood in the doorway. The room fell silent. William looked uncertain, almost vulnerable, an expression Kate had rarely seen on her father's face. "Dad," she said softly. "You came." William cleared his throat. "Your mother called. Said I had a granddaughter." His voice was gruff with emotion. "I hope it's all right that I'm here." "Of course it is," Kate said, motioning him closer. "Come meet Elizabeth." William approached slowly, his eyes fixed on the bundle in Kate's arms. When he reached the bedside, he hesitated. "Would you like to hold her?" Kate offered. William looked startled, then deeply moved. "May I?" Kate carefully transferred Elizabeth to her father's arms. William cradled the tiny infant with surprising gentleness, studying her face with wonder. "Elizabeth," he repeated the name. "After your mother, a good, strong name." He looked up at Kate, then at Andre. "She has your eyes, Carter, and Catherine's chin." Andre nodded, watching his daughter in William's arms. "She's perfect." "Yes," William agreed, his voice thick. "She is." He looked at Andre directly. "You have a beautiful family, Carter, one to be proud of." "Thank you, sir," Andre replied, understanding the significance of William's words. "I know how fortunate I am." William returned Elizabeth to Kate, then stepped back, suddenly self-conscious. "I should let you rest. I wanted to see her, to see you." "I'm glad you came, Daddy," Kate said sincerely. As William turned to leave, Andre surprised everyone by following him to the door. "Mr. Ellington," he said quietly, "may I speak with you for a moment?" William nodded, and the two men stepped into the hallway. "What is it, Carter?" William asked. Andre took a deep breath. "I want to thank you for coming today. It means everything to Kate and to me." William looked uncomfortable with the gratitude. "She's my daughter, Elizabeth is my granddaughter. Yes, Andre agreed. And I want you to know that no matter what's happened between us, you will always be welcome in our home in Elizabeth's life. She deserves to know her grandfather. William studied Andre's face, looking for any sign of insincerity. Finding none, he nodded once. I appreciate that, Carter, and I want you to know... He paused, choosing his words carefully. I want you to know that while I may have had reservations about you, I can see how much you love my daughter. How much you love that little girl in there. More than anything, Andre confirmed. That's all a father can ask for, William said quietly. That his daughter is loved, protected. He extended his hand. Thank you for that. Andre shook William's hand firmly, understanding that this was as close to a blessing as he was likely to get from Catherine Ellington's father. For now it was enough. When they returned to the room, Kate looked between them questioningly. Andre gave her a small nod, letting her know everything was all right. The next few days passed in a blur of visitors, nurses, and the steep learning curve of new parenthood. Kate and Andre brought Elizabeth home to their small apartment, now transformed by the presence of this tiny, demanding new person. Andre took 2 weeks off from work to help Kate adjust, proving himself an enthusiastic, if sometimes fumbling, father. His large hands looked enormous against Elizabeth's tiny body, but they were unfailingly gentle as he changed diapers, gave baths, and cradled his daughter to sleep. Kate watched him singing softly to Elizabeth one evening, his deep voice lulling the baby to sleep, and felt her heart might burst with love for them both. You're a natural, she whispered, when Elizabeth's eyes finally closed. Andre carefully placed the sleeping infant in her bassinet. I don't feel like a natural, he admitted. I feel terrified most of the time, like I might break her. You won't, Kate assured him. You're a wonderful father. I'm trying to be, Andre said.